of Rugby America's North Collide. Trinidad and Tobago, humbled last year in Mexico 45-14, have been laser focused on this fixture. Simply nothing else matters. Mexico, who have traditionally struggled when touring Trinidad, have described this game as a must win. Hello everyone, I'm Robert Flubstone, joined again with former national fullback Alex Lewis. Alex, this adds up to one epic encounter here today. Are you ready?
I am, and I think everybody in the stadium and all of the friends and family watching around the world are also ready for this. As you said, this is a game that nobody is taking for granted and nobody is taking lightly. And both teams are prepared and ready for this showdown today. Nosotros estamos muy felices de que te unas hoy, sea donde sea. Nosotros estamos transmitiendo en vivo con 360 TV desde aquí, desde Estadio Larry Gomes, en Arima, en la hermosa Trinidad y Tobago. Es un día excelente para jugar a rugby aquí en Trinidad, con unas condiciones perfectas, nublado, fresco, pero sin lluvia. As you said today is a beautiful day for rugby. No clouds, slightly cloudy, but no rain. So we're looking to have a great day of rugby ahead of us.
That's right, Alex. In the black is, of course, TNT, led out by Captain Shaquille Dyte. He'll be starting at fullback. And for Mexico, the man mountain known only as El Piedra. That's Sebastian Diaz. Speaking to him before the game. Oh, we're here with Sumi. Let's go on to her and we'll come back.
In Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima, where this Rugby Americans North match will be taking place today, where Mexico will be facing off against Trinidad and Tobago. Last year, these two teams faced off in a final where Mexico emerged victorious with a score of 45-14. Today, everybody is excited to see what the results of this match will be. My name is Samaya Mole. I'm your reporter for On the Field today. You could see me again for halftime when we'll be doing our little fan reactions and fan interviews, and also at the end of the game for post-game interviews where I'll be talking to the team, each team, on their insights for the game. So the match is about to start. I'm going to send you off to our commentators today, Flub and Alex. They will take you through all the action today in today's game.
There's Sumi. So we are going to have the national anthem of Mexico. We invite everyone to stand.
Nothing but blue.
Home team getting their national anthem first, but we invite you now to stand for the national anthem of Mexico.
Bueno.
from the halfway line, and it was rocking up here all the way in the commentary booth. They are ready, they are primed. Alex, can you let us know the starting lineup for Mexico as we are minutes away from kickoff?
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. So, our props for today are Pilars Axel Gabriel Diaz Martinez and Firan Eduardo Garre Aguilera. Our hooker, talanador, Borja Mandalunes Zuzaeta. Our locks are Segunda Líneas, Alan Gutierrez Gaona and Thomas Fisher Vize. Our flankers today, Samuel Rojas Ruiz and Victor Ernesto Oliva Castellanos. Our captain, Capitan numero 8, Sebastian Diaz Galvan. Our scrum half today, Rodrigo Munoz Ledo Sendra, and our fly half, Apertura, Mateo Lopez Muchenek. Our wings today are Jose Samuel Lararga Martinez and Christopher Antonio Cole Reyes, with our centers, Luke Alexandre Martin Olivo and Ricardo Ancira Navarro, with our fly half, Davide Nava Moreno. The rest of the team coming off the bench today to bring power will be Emiliano Fabian Garcia de Fortari, Dana Reese Frances Gomez, Angel Iwitel Perez Hernandez, Omar Tejado Rios, Bernardo Hernandez Garcia, Patricio Falcón Izquierdo, Nicolas Cristian Gatoes Nichols, and Alonso Ramirez Martinez del Campo.
Thank you, Alex, and of course your TNT team in the screen now wearing the black, giving their final instructions. Up front, starting at prop, Travis Carmichael wearing number 24. He's partnered with Trezine McLean wearing 3. At hooker, Christopher Daniel. Second row partnership, new cap Liam Cabrales in 4, Ascari Dawood in 18, and a back row of Anderson Joseph the Island wearing number 6, and Jonathan Sugar Bear Stewart wearing number 7, and the Brighton Beast Caselli at 8. Starting scrum half today is Nathaniel Cadiz. He's passing to new cap Nathan Achim from St. Thomas University. He'll have a center partnership of Christopher Hudson and Dante Hazard, and a back three of James Phillip in number 11, Jonathan Taylor in 14, and Shaquille Dyke captain at full back. Your finishers today for TNT: Marcus Daniel, Joshua Marsan, Wazim Oliver, Andreas York, Joshua Hector, Reese Valle, Ronaldo Bermudez, and the man from Swindon RFC, TVP Stags, Oscar Sevens and Saint Sevens, Matty Huggins. So TNT geared and ready. They're going to be playing from the southern side. You're hearing the crowd trying to cheer them on. They know what this fixture means. It has monster implications for both programs. We spoke with Mexico's forward coach James Lowry yesterday and manager Mateo Musap. They know the importance. They are ready to go. Last year's team is completely different. They have suffered some injuries, especially at the back three, missing, of course, Diego Sanchez and Emilio Sanchez, along with an array of others. But here they are backing their team. They are ready to fire, and they believe they could get it done. Kicking off for TNT is inside center Christopher Hudson, wearing the golden boots. Mexico's forwards are ready. Keep your eye on the big man wearing number 5. That's Thomas Vesti, the Australian. Of course, as highlighted, captain number 8, Sebastian Diaz. Kickoff high, hanging in a swirling breeze, collected by number 4. That's Guti. Takes it up and cleared by Mexico. They know the importance. Out by Rod, and they set it up one time with Bora. Outside the 22, and they're looking to roll now. The Argentine flinging it wide, they're finding space, and it's opening up right away. Cut back inside, they're willing to set up these rocks. Powers through, well done. And TNT taking a while to adjust defensively. Almost falling offside, but Mexico playing, no advantage yet. But they're creeping back, and TNT have to wake up or they'll be under the cuff right away. Big tackle comes in, and he shrugs them off and brought down. Once again, Rod clearing so quickly. That's the center there known as Jose. Brought down again. Ruck comes, Claire comes, Rod out to the big man. That's number 2. Bora getting involved again. Setting it up phase after phase. Happy to get those rucks forming. Chipped over by Mateo. It's a test one time for Dite, who answers the call. Steps back inside and he needs support. It finally comes. And Nathaniel Cadiz makes his way across. Gonna use the big man. That's Lee. Lee slams it up. That's what he's brought in for. The beast from Brighton. Out again, this time Carmichael. Out to Nathan Atchim, and he feeds. Clare comes, but he's under a lot of pressure. It is Clare though. Finally bought. They're going to use the man from Caribs RFC. Christopher Daniel, set again to Lee. He knows only one way. Straightens back inside into traffic. Presented perfectly. Now out to Atchim. What's he going to do with this breeze? He's going to use that boot. It's high, it's hanging, it's going to be a tester. James Phillip to apply pressure, and they answer it. Big tackle comes, but Mexico is there, and Clare. And here comes their support. A monster Clare once again. James Phillip felt that one. He's wearing number 11, and they look to slow it right down using Thomas Vesey. That's number 5, the Australian, as highlighted. TNT slowly to roll away. These phases adding up. Mateo, deep ball. That's Jeppy. Back inside the outside centre, and it might be over there. No, well cleared again. Rod flying around the field, and Bora getting involved. Several carries. The angles Rod is taking to get to these rocks. Applying pressure, and here it comes. Fed out, finding space again. It looks slightly forward, and it is forward, and TNT get it. It's going to be a TNT scrum inside the Mexican half. Alex, first thoughts?
That was a very good start by both teams. It was a good kickoff from TTO into Mexico's 22, and Mexico's very patient run out up through their half and whatnot. So it's been a good contest so far. I think a bit of patience for both teams in trying to retain their hands, and we'll see how this scrum goes now.
Yeah, very impressive start there by the Mexican team. Again, a lot of these players only bought in very recently to play together, and they're already flying around, reading each other's play. But how are TNT going to play off this first scrum? Mexico believe they could apply pressure, so this is a big, big moment in this test. And TNT hold, and TNT get an advantage, pushing ahead in the crowd, rewarding them. Looping around is Nathan Atchim. Space opening up, and he's looking to accelerate right through. He goes on himself. One out pass. That's Shaquille Dyke. Could he want to switch back inside? That's Jonathan Taylor beats one. Almost beats the second. Somehow manages to stay on his feet, and it's only 5 meters away. Clare comes, leaves there. He looks to pick. He grabs support. He stays on his feet. He might be there. Liam Cabrales in his first cup scores a try. Pick from the base. We spoke to him. He's done it for Northern's RFC over and over again. That's what he specializes in. He recognized it, and he took his shot, and he scored.
I can imagine the coaches are extremely happy with how that set piece went off from that scrum. Perfection all the way down the line. When they got into pressure, reading the plays and knowing how to offload and trusting your teammates to complete the job.
Well, let's take another look at that there, Alex. Brought down there, recognized by Liam Cabrales, and right through, nobody on, powers through one more, and he set it up again. Try time. Liam Cabrales, his first cap, 4 minutes in.
Beautiful textbook rugby. Beautiful.
Unbelievable start for TNT, and Nathan Atchim, can he add the extras? That's 5-0 to TNT with the kick to come. He puts it up, but with this breeze, can he pull it around? Oh, and he does. Nathan Atchim, first kick at goal on his first cap out wide, and he takes his score to 7-0 to TNT. So first play, first touch of the ball, Nathan Atchim finds his way through. One out pass there to his captain, Shaquille Dyke. Switch there with Jonathan Taylor. Take the patient there, set up that rock, and a try for TNT. Now, can they respond now? This is such a dangerous area with this kickoff, Alex.
Indeed. 5 minutes into the game, we have a lot more rugby to go, and it'll be very important to see how Mexico responds here with their kickoff.
Davide, the Italian, to kick off, and TNT let it fall, but under control. And are they going to play it? No, step back inside, and that's what Jonathan Taylor could do. So dangerous. And they're going to look to use big Askari Dawood on their own 22, wrangled back inside. And Nathaniel Cadiz passes it deep, and it has to be trapped there by Nathan Atchim, and he's under huge pressure. His teammates have to recognize it. He might be held up. He's got to get his knee down. It is, and it's settled back down. And it is a pick there by Carmichael, just trying to get some space. So Mexico coming off these rocks a little bit, and TNT recognize it with those little pick and goes around. It is there for Nathaniel Cadiz. Hopefully this is a little cleaner, and it goes back to Chris Pody Hudson, and that's well cleared on the situation. Up it goes. I should highlight at this time, the referee for today is Clifton Garrett from Guyana. The assistant referees is Kelvis Figaro and Kishon Mendez. So TNT take the play back, still inside the half, but on the 10, Mexico. Now the Mexican forward coach excites me a little bit. I absolutely adore a good rolling maul from these line outs. And he said they have some surprises here today for TNT. So Border to throw in. He wasn't here last year, but they say the man could play, and it is very, very breezy. That breeze goes right across this field. And here they come, Vesti wearing number 5. And they go to the talisman, but it's popped back and it's very dirty. Rod under some pressure, feeds brilliantly out to the Argentine, who takes the tackle, and it's there. TNT do not want to risk giving away a penalty, but it pops out again. Wide ball, pressure comes again in to Nathan Achim, and they settle it again. Big contact so far. Rod, beautiful passing back to the fullback. That's Davide, high testing kick. This is a dangerous one here for Jonathan Taylor, who does brilliantly and somehow breaks the first tackle. This is where he excels. Wide ball, but it's slapped down and slapped back. And Davide collects and he wants to feed now. There's some space out wide if they could use it. Yes, it goes all the way out to number 11. That's Chepe. Chepe chips through, and Nathan Achim smartly brings it under control. Brilliant defensive work by him. And he breaks another one. Nathan Achim, like a duck with water to international rugby. STU must be celebrating this. Liam Cabrales smartly just takes it up. That is his game. He does not need to force passes. Carmichael now in the headgear, going a little bit laterally, and he's brought down by number 7. That's Victor for Mexico. TNT taking a while to settle these scrums. Can't generate that quick ball. Back to Nathan, and he hangs it. It's got to stay in play, and it is collected by Chepe. Chepe, dangerous in these situations, cuts back inside, but Anderson Joseph brings him down. He's got to roll away now, and TNT struggling a little bit at these rocks. They use the big man. Great hands. That's the number 4. That's Guti again, and a penalty for TNT. Well done. That might be the big man Lee. The beast from Brighton strikes again.
Both teams are very responsive and very reactive to the different chances they're getting, because so far we've had 2 very clear phases of play that have come off of mistakes of the other team, and they've been able to capitalize on that, which I think will be a key facet in today's game.
Oh, definitely. So you're seeing TNT opted to go with 2 established kickers, with Nathan Achim and Christopher Pudi Hudson, and they're happy to slow down the game. They cannot play at Mexico's tempo. They know what they're going to try to do, and they're happy to just take those phases, use the boot, give their forwards a chance to breathe, and into it again to throw in. They brought him in for this role, Christopher Daniel. So yes, it looks like Mexico getting involved early. Christopher Daniel to throw against very challenging breeze. Mexico is going to want to challenge this. They've got some big height there with Sam in the back row wearing number 6. Are they going to contest Leo Cabrales? They're going very deep in these conditions, and that's brilliantly done. Sugar Bear brings it down and out to Chris Pudi Hudson. They're going to use him. The beast from Brighton strikes again, gets that go forward. They're rolling around, and it is hands in the ruck by Mexico. Surely they're going to take the point in this situation, Alex.
They look to be. It's a great situation, and knowing Hudson, he's going to want to, or even Achim, it's a very reasonable position for them to try and take for these points. Absolutely.
So again, it is a challenging kick with this breeze, but even if you miss, if it pushes out, you get the ball back. And Mexico looking a little shell-shocked with how TNT are approaching this game. Nathan Achim given the job. A great successful first kick. Can he settle himself? The entire St. Thomas University looks on. Can he take it to 10?
I noticed from the Mexican team, it's a very young squad that they've brought. They have quite a few veteran players in the mix, but quite of a young squad going on. So I'm curious to see how they're going to react to the pressure there.
Yeah.
We have several players, about half the team or so, that either are debutants or under 5 caps or so. So games like this are very important for building their capacity under pressure when playing at this level of rugby.
Absolutely. There you see Nathan Achim with a successful kick, taking it to 10-0 for Trinidad and Tobago. And here comes another kick. It looks like they changed it. Mateo to kick off, and they go to the opposite side to Shaquille Dyke. He doesn't make too many mistakes. Shows goes, looks around, but he's a little bit away from the court. It gets there though. Throwing it right down. Very surprising. They use Ascari Dawad, who breaks the first, generates, and Sugar Bear on his shoulder, but it is dropped, and it goes backwards and it's collected. No counter up comes, and you hear the crowd shouting to move it, and he's under pressure. Here comes Cassell Lee. Stays on his feet long enough. Carmichael clears, and now it's started to roll. Achim screaming for it, but it goes over to Chris Pudi Hudson. Pudi, wide ball. That's very dangerous. Back inside. Somehow it works out on Anderson. Dismisses one. Can he stay in play? Somehow he does. Victor almost managed. I don't know how Anderson Joseph did that. And KD tries to get some sanity back to the situation. They use Liam Cabrales. Just enough, sucks in a few. Needs to stay in and does so. Now they're going to use Carmichael. Smartly doesn't throw it, and Vesti makes him pay all the way back to his 22. And now they want to use it once more. It might go to Dante Hazard. No, back to Nathan Achim. And it is cleared straight out now. Is it judged to be taken back in? It is. So the ruck was outside the 22. I think Nathan Achim didn't read that correctly. And it's going to be a line out for Mexico deep inside TNT's 22.
It's a great position for Mexico, and they're itching. They've been itching to try to get this ball into more space for themselves.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they approach this. As I say, I do not think, yes, they have some brilliant backs out wide, but that forwards, I would love to see them just settle it down, suck in a few defenders, actually also just apply some pressure, get TNT tired. It's going to pay dividends later on. Unfortunately, Alex, you spoke too soon. It does look like the rain is starting to come in.
You took the words out of my mouth. From one I spoke of saying there's no rain happening right now and it's great conditions, to starting to see, we're seeing some rain coming in the east and rolling in. So we'll see if it starts to rain on field here and how that's going to affect the play. We've had a bit of rain in Trinidad over the past couple of days as well, so I don't know how the field is going to react to that and how waterlogged it is or not.
It's going to be very, very challenging situation. I'm shocked that TNT went for the 6 ball from their first line out with this wind. Is Mexico going to follow suit? Are they going to just be happy to take maximum 4 ball, set it up, and get that go forward? I would absolutely kill to see it. So all this pressure falls on Bora. It's got to be straight. I cannot emphasize enough that it's a real almost optical illusion, because if you look at the sideline, yes, well, you're seeing it now, the flag is spitting, but it is so strong. The moment you put it in the air, it absolutely spirals. So all this pressure falls on the Mexican hooker, Bora. The chance started to come in as well. Mexico going for that full line out. You see their forwards coach there making his way off that James Lowry again, trying to settle him down. They need to be the next to score. Bora, time back on there by referee Garrett. Full line out, they're going to step in. Are they going to use Vesti? Are they going to pick? They have so much height in this back row. They might even look to pick up Sam there, number 6. They do. They fake, and now they go, and it's tight, and they just drop it. They just want to set up that first rock. Successfully done. That was to, I believe, Sam. And another carry by number 4. That's Guti again. He's been involved early and often. Big Claire. Rod. Brilliant distribution. First touch there for Ron. Rod out wide from Rodrigo. And more space, more pace from Chepi, wearing number 11. And TNT actually struggling a little bit to get back on side in the wider channels. It's going to be start to get picked up very soon. And they look to go blind once again. Chepi back inside to Ricky. 10 meters away now. Another big carry. This time by Sam. That's number 6. And it's turned over. Sugar Bear. He's got his hands on it. They use Lee. And Lee shrugs off the first and finds some space. Remember, it's starting to really rain out there. Hurricane conditions. Achim reads it, and he's just going to find some space high, and you're seeing it swirling right back towards TNT. There, it went in the air and completely did a U-turn and went back to TNT, so it's fully against the wind, is against Trinidad in this half, and Mexico need to put points on the board because it's going to be a reverse situation for that second half. So Mexico do split the back line there. Mateo right behind.
And we've added in a lovely element, an exciting element to the game now. It has started to rain.
Yeah, big scrum there by TNT. They dislodge it, but El Piedra picks and goes, makes big yards. Pressure comes now. Nathan Achim needs to make this tackle, and he does. TNT again flirting with that offside line, and a big carry there. That's Bora again. Slams it in. Oh, it's slippery ball, and Mateo feels it. It's way back now, all the way to Luke, who carries it in. Can he get over it? Chris Pudi Hudson trying to get involved, but they settle it down. Again, Rod out one wider to Vesti, and Sam takes it up in the 22 now. Looking to roll. Big options to the left, but they're happy to set up one more, and here it comes. Mateo screaming for it. If he gets quick ball, it looks like a big 3-on-1, and it's a penalty for TNT again. Unbelievable work once again
The defense work today has been excellent by TTO of how they've been pushing up and responding to Mexico's aggression, and it has been aggression. Mexico has been pushing and pushing and trying to find a hole in TTO's defense, which they have not been able to as yet, which speaks to the strengths of both teams.
And it's very interesting as well, Alex. So, of course, Shaquille Dyte, who's played most of his career internationally as a loose forward, moved to full back, but is actually paying dividends when Mexico makes a break and a tackle comes in. He's getting over the ball several times. So you have that Anderson Joseph in the pack getting over the ball from one aspect, but you also have Shaquille Dyte working it as well when they do get through. Very interesting. So good work by these TNT management.
I mean, personally, I always think it's important for players to try different positions, if only in practice.
So TNT line out, and you see the wind again, so it's deemed to be straight. A little advantage for TNT. It does get back there again, and TNT just need to play a little possession. Another carry by Ascari, and he shrugs it off. Tough conditions for those loose passes, but somehow Carmichael holds on, and there's space, and they look to change it, go right. It's read there by Achim, but it's a little bit shaky and thrown, and you hear the groan from the crowd. They can't believe that they didn't use the boot in that situation. And TNT clear back to Achim, who pushes it over, but tons of time and space, and Davide lets it bounce. He collects. Chepe rolls around. They want to use it. Trezine, big ask for the man. And there's Victor out now to number 14. That's Christopher, the Great Britain player. And Rod calling Matteo to Vesti, the Australian, and he wants one thing to set up. And Lee almost gets over it again. He's requiring so much at those breakdowns. They change it again. Back to Ricky. Big yards and bigger tackle. And it's a knock on once more. And the boom comes from TNT. But Alex, again, 20 minutes into this game, TNT playing with this dreadful breeze. Are they forcing too many passes? Should they just chip over? Should they push out the bounds and waste out clock in this half?
I always think the first 20, 25 minutes or so are really about testing the conditions, testing the team, to see what works and what doesn't. So I'm not going to make too many judgments right now on it, because in some cases they've been successful with it, in some cases it hasn't really gone their way. And I think that's been the case for both teams there today.
Yeah, for sure. So Mexico getting some very quick rucks, but TNT happy to just let them set up and really picking their punches when they want to contest and go for it. But I'm shocked by the power coming here from the TNT. So this is what Liam Cabrales was brought in here to do, him and Ascari. This is the partnership. He has been absolutely outstanding for Northern's RFC. That's number 4. First cap try scorer Liam. And here it comes again. Brought in on another great push at the base there for Cassell Lee. And out it goes. And they do use the boot smartly. Hang in. Dante Hazard has a chance, but bounce over to Chris Pudi Hudson. And he stays on his feet long enough, but it does come, and a clear comes. Well done there. Out wide. Shaquille Dyte. He's playing with space. He chips it through. He's got tons of space. Christopher, he picks it up, but it's dropped on and out of bounds. Big net gain for TNT. Very smartly done by Shaquille Dyte.
That was great field awareness to find the space down the line, chase their kick down, and then force the Mexico player in trying to collect that ball into space. It puts TNT in a really good position here, and for the first time in about, I would say, 10 minutes or so, out of their half.
I will say Mexico only arrived in Trinidad on Friday. Very little time to acclimatize. They got one little training session together, so it's tough for them. And you see some of the forwards already starting to struggle in these very mucky conditions, and this rain isn't going to help. So TNT again to throw in from this line out. A little bit of a delayed feed, and it's picked up there by Cassell Lee. We will commentate on the live action as it picks back up, and it's brought in there somehow by Anderson Joseph. Huge tackle comes, and they're going to use Carmichael, who holds on. And smartly, Mexico looked to contest that one. I don't know how Carmichael held on. Christopher Hudson, he wants a piece. Out wider, Dante Hazard from defense force, throws, goes, sucks in two. Nathan Achim tried to get over it, but it was stolen. And it's there now for Mexico. Big clear, they're looking to get way over the ball, and Rod smartly settles it down. Shaquille Dyte drops way back. Bora involved, shrugs off one, met strongly again, but big options outside. Matteo screams for it, but he can't hold it, and pressure comes from Anderson Joseph. Big tackle. Clay, Rod wants another piece, and he somehow holds, and Rod clears again. They're not willing to use the boot. Very surprising. And another big tackle, but it's an advantage for Mexico, and we'll see what the call is. It looks like offside and TNT starting to slow down a little bit, adjust. They're not going to be able to apply that pressure coming forward as they just, the tempo at this rock speed from Mexico, Alex.
So far, they've been reacting very, very well, though, I will say. I think as conditions change, the tiredness of the teams, the amount of hits that have been going on, the physicality of it, we're going to start to see a bit more of rugby IQ come in, of figuring out how do we conserve energy and maximize the type of plays we're trying to do here.
I'm just letting everybody know at home. So the player down, I believe, is Travis Carmichael, wearing number 24. He's been very involved in the game. It looks like that is his shoulder is flaring up again. And this is a little bit of a nightmare scenario. So the coaches from TNT opted to go with a little bit of a lighter front row on the bench with Wazim Oliver, who does not traditionally play prop. Yes, you have Marcus Daniel, but he's more of a finisher. He'll give you that last 30 minutes. Can he be brought in so early in the game? Can Carmichael pull through? He looks to be in a lot of discomfort. That right shoulder again. So TNT again taking a look, Alex. You see they brought in some players to play that expansive game, and so far it's worked to perfection using the boot on both sides there. They've been able to split the Mexican defense, not allow them to put a lot of pressure. And Nathan Achim and Christopher Pudi Hudson are slowly picking them apart, playing territory.
Indeed. I mean, we were talking earlier about the importance of versatility in a team, especially when you're growing a game. We're seeing, as you said, with Shaquille Dyke, the captain of Trinidad Tobago's team, the experience of coming from flanker and moving out to the back row of what that skill set can bring. And the options of having multiple kickers on the field really opens up the possibilities of both on attack and in defense.
So it does look, unfortunately, like Travis Carmichael will not be able to continue. I believe they're calling for the stretcher, which means Marcus Daniel, I see him just taking off his trainers. He's going to be on very early. This is a big, big ask for the man wearing number 1. The entire Caribs team is here to bring him on. And you're hearing them starting to scream for him. They know the importance of the situation. The scrum is operating so well as well. Will this change everything? Again, Alex, monster implications for not just rankings and funding and sponsorship. Everything falls on this game. It is the 2 top teams in Iran, of course, minus USA and Canada. But speaking about more the tier 2 options, Mexico and TNT, you cannot afford to drop this fixture. TNT 1 test match for the year, so you're seeing the stretcher is coming on, unfortunately, and it is Carmichael's shoulder. So just as we take a look at some other things here, Alex, how many debutants here for TNT? I'm going to call them out again if you don't mind. Starting up front with the try scorer wearing number 4, that's Liam Cabrales. We have Nathan Achim at fly half. That's the St. Thomas University Super Choice. One coach's choice last year. Big up for the man. On the bench, we have Joshua Hector, Joshua Marsan as well. Wazim Oliver is there, but of course he is the captain of Royal Lions. I'm just looking at some options, sorry. Andreas the Orcs first cap. Reese Valer, the young player, just finished the under-19s 2 years ago and bought into this. And Ronaldo Bermudez wearing 23. And the man from Swindon RFC TVP Stags, Oscar Sevens and State Sevens, that's Matthew Huggins. Is he going to get a chance to shine here today? Also taking a look, we should mention, of course, some debutants for Mexico, starting with their fly half. He's starting today. That's Mateo Lopez Muchanek, the Argentine, and he's had a great game so far. Fly off, fullback here today, Davide Navarra Moreno, sorry, forgive my ignorance, and he's been doing well. Got some notes on that he actually plays the harp, and he's been pulling the strings well today at fullback, Alex.
Yeah, I would say so. They've been clearing their pass in that defense role very, very easily, very well in that sense. So he's been doing his job today.
And the last player there on the bench, debut for hooker, and I'm going to let you pronounce it so I will stop embarrassing myself.
That's Angel Huetel Perez Hernandez.
Obviously, how could I make that mistake? So again, Travis Carmichael, who's been having a stellar game so far, injured his shoulder. They have some treatment on him, and both sides taking this chance to just regroup and restart. The scrums are really working in TNT's favor, bringing on Marcus Daniel now.
So as a player, when something like this happens, I mean, there's a lot of different thoughts going through your brain. Part of it is, when it's a key player, I mean, every player is a key player. But when it's a key player, especially for your scrum, and especially a veteran player like Travis is, there's a bit of worry going on. There's a bit of, as you were saying, figuring out how we're going to manage the rest of the game, because both the coaches and the players would have had somewhat of an idea of how long they were going to navigate and how they were going to play based on players and how they know they play off of each other. So this is definitely going to be a point of adjustment for the TTO team in progressing their game. Additionally, breaks like this in general, when you have this amount of time, yes, it's good for a bit of recovery after such heavy hits over the past half an hour or so. But at the same time, you start to get out of the game as well. So pauses like this aren't always, what you want them to be for either team. Because as we saw, both teams had been building a certain momentum or a certain style of how they were playing. Mexico building momentum of moving out of their 22, and Trinidad and Tobago really figuring out when to push, when to slow down. And usually the first half an hour of the game is spent figuring out that tempo, both against your opponent and also for yourself. So I don't know how this level of a break is going to affect how they're going to approach the game going on, and how quickly they're able to switch back in to playtime.
And Carmichael, again, he's just so well liked by this team and this squad. He's such a big part of this fraternity. This, of course, is a big loss. All his teammates will be thinking about him. And of course, it's in the grand scheme of things, you're most worried about his health. He's, of course, moving around. He's looking good. He gave us a thumbs up earlier. But I'm going to turn to the bench, Alex, again. So the coaches opted to gamble a little bit here. They rolled the dice. And you're just taking a look. So again, they have Marcus Daniel, who's now coming onto the field very early, wearing number 1. You have Joshua Marsan, who's more of an ex-player. He plays a lot of back row locally. He has played hooker before, but in this game here, to only have Wazim Oliver, who starts at 8 for his club. He hasn't played tight head since he was in under 19 level, and to go against the powerhouse that is Mexico. What would the coaches do now to have Jarrell McFarlane on that sideline, to have that designated tight head in this situation? But that is the game, of course. The coaches wanted to go with space. They wanted to go with those options. They never dreamed something like this would happen. And unfortunately, it's come up snake eyes.
I mean, that's the nature of sport at times as well. It doesn't always go how we plan it to go. But I mean, at the same time, cometh the hour, cometh the man. And when opportunities like this arise, for you to have more playing time, for you to come on earlier than expected and see how you fare, these are opportunities to see, what you do bring at this time.
Well, as we have a second here, I'm actually going to turn to the live chat, Alex, and we'll see if we have anybody chiming in and have any thoughts. I'm seeing Nicholas Navarro really highlighting some things. Sir Bolly of the Wood, great to have this available. Amazing live commentary as well. God bless you, Bolly. And a fan here from Mexico. I'm going to get some of them up as I'm reading. They really love having it. Mark Bassessa from Australia is chiming in. Trinidad's work rate in defense is phenomenal. Great counter-attacking efforts. God bless you, Mark Bassessa. And thank everyone for typically hearing the crowd cheering, of course, for Carmichael as he's making his way off the field. Seeing as well the Misfits Rugby Club. They're chiming in here as well, just showing their support and love. A lot of the players here, Shaquille Dite is been a big part of their touring team as well. Feel free to drop your comments. I'll try to hail you out. Anybody there in the stream. Nicholas Navarro, as I said before. Clayton Knott from Caribs. Keep up the good work, Flub and Alex. Yes, I owe you a bear. So here comes Carmichael coming off. And the rest of his teammates helping him and giving him some talk as they're doing it. So Carmichael will be back stronger. He has his hand up, giving us another thumbs up. God bless you, Travis Carmichael. What a legend. I can't tell you how much he does for this fraternity. And he's represented and has so many caps for the country. A great, great guy. So, of course, all safety precautions just being met. And it is back in play. Mexico kicks it. And Shaquille Dite lets it drop, but it does go backwards. Fed there by James Phillip. And here comes Jonathan Taylor right into the action. So, as you were talking about, Alex, it goes from 0 to 100. Nathaniel Cadiz looks to use Lee. Lee, big carry once again. He sucks in so many players. And now they look to go again. at him, out, but it's slippery and it goes forward, and that's what we were worried about.
That's always the fear. That's always the fear when you start to get wet ball in play, wet fields in play. It just starts to make things a little bit more slippery. And again, that's where opportunities come up. So for Mexico, this is a great opportunity to be just outside of their own half and to be pushing this to see what magic they can make with this scrum.
Now, as we waited for the scrum, I should just highlight as well the back three from Mexico. You're not going to pick it up on your screen, but they're working up. Can he make it kick as he left foot up? Can he make it kick as he left-footed kicker? Well, he settles himself and he hammers it, but with this breeze, it does go to the left, and it's TNT, so it remains 10-0. Again, we're sorry if you're not picking up the pictures. I'll try to keep the commentary going so you have an idea of what is going on. So TNT are going to get that 22 drop out. And again, Mexico's defense, look at them, they're spreading. There's absolutely no space available for TNT. Christopher Pudi Hudson has the ball, but what's he going to opt to do? So he adjusts himself, and it looks like he's just going to hammer it down and give them a chance to counter-attack. And they do, but it's a low kick, and Vesti traps it down. It's still inside TNT half, and he looks to push now. He used the big man. That's Sebastian Diaz. And another player is sent of the field, and they look to roll back towards it. Another penalty once more for Mexico, so it's a free play. And they're going to use Big Sam. Sam accepts the tackle, sets it up, and it's a wide ball to no one. That's John, or Ron, my apologies. He clears again, and they're starting to get a foothold in this game, and they recognize the conditions, and they're happy to just accept and set it up. Nothing on Mateo. He wants a little bit more, and it touches the ground. This is what we're worried about. It's simply not on, and they go back for the penalty. So he saw it created there, but simply not able, or he's just not able to use that extra width. It is slippery like a soap out there, and some talented players. So again, you're seeing the captain takes the ball in. He's going to settle his kicker. He wants to go for the post once more. My apologies. Is he actually going for the lineout, Alex?
It looks like he is.
Well, a man of many talents. And what a kick by El Piedra.
As the game goes on and as people get more tired, we're starting to see penalties creep in that come a bit out of that tiredness. So that last penalty there was as a result of not rolling away. Now, there are all kinds of reasons why you might not be able to roll away. Try as you might. But sometimes those are tiredness there. So TTO needs to start to watch. I think both teams will need to start, as that tiredness creeps in, to start to watch their discipline around these ruck areas. Because the ref today does not seem to be giving any chance or any blighs, as we say in Trinidad, for laxness around the scrum area, around the ruck area. You're
100% right. And Mexico coaches, they said, they talked to the ref as well. They said, we want to play a high tempo game, and we are trying to encourage those offside. We're trying to encourage that penalty count to jump up for TNT. They're planting that seed of the tempo they want to play, and it's slowly starting to pay off. There might be a slight delay here in the feed, so we apologize if you're hearing us and you're seeing something slightly different. It is a line out for Mexico. A brilliant kick by their captain, Sebastian Diaz, takes them just outside the 5. But they have struggled a little bit. They've actively opted just to go to one-man ball, Mexico so far. I'd love to see if they're going to establish something. TNT looking to set up, actually looking to throw up their shortest player, Jonathan Stewart, at 2, to leave that size behind them with Marcus Daniel and Askari Dawood and Lee. And of course at the back, as Anderson Joseph in the orange boots. They just absolutely fly at their fly off. So let's see how Mexico, they do go 4 and they look to set it up. Let's see how they establish it. Great work by their front row, looking to put it like the front of a ship there, just to get all the pressure on the point. But TNT hold it, they look to roll around, and it does go. It's brought down, and now TNT have to roll away. They're trapped in there a little bit, and it's there for Rod. Tabora throws it off there to Axel, and he's propelled backwards. Rod allows it once more, and that's Big Luke. One more, but big space, tons of room, and Ron happy to take it up, but they can waltz in, nothing but space out wide. Somehow Dyke stops him, and Trinidad salvages it somehow, and it's a try. It was a matter of time. It was a 5-man overlap. TNT struggled on that last rock, Alex.
Yeah, they got pulled in a bit too much out of that rolling maul, out of that maul that came in from that line out. and it left the back line a bit sparse, that allowed that huge Mexico overload, about a 5-person overload, which try as Captain Dite might have to stop that first. Just one offload, and that was pretty much it. All that was needed there.
Well, a little concerning there from that last ruck. You saw about 8 Trinidadians, TNT players, sorry, all just trying to go for that counter ruck there, where it was clearly won by Mexico. That's a little bit of tiredness as well. Just going for that desperate clear instead of accepting and filtering out and taking your defensive responsibility. So kick to come from Mexico. It is 10-5. Again, here's Davide. Pushes it up, but it's unsuccessful, so the score remains 10-5. It is an unconverted try for TNT. Again, TNT would be thrilled with this, given the conditions, given that they've been playing against the breeze for this half. To go 5 points up is a massive thing for them. They're slow to make their way up though, Alex. They are struggling now with these conditions themselves, and the more phases that Mexico are running, the more and more tired TNT are becoming.
Agreed. And this is not, we've just started the game, we're barely at 40 minutes in, so now is the time to really start to dig deep before we stop for half time.
So TNT to kick off here, and Chris Pooty Hudson, that is a gorgeous kick all the way back to Christopher, and he drops it, and TNT may collect it. It might fall to Jonathan Taylor, and it does go knocked on, as he called from Trinidad. That's an interesting call there. I thought it was actually knocked on for TNT, but it's deemed, unfortunately, a big tackle came. Let's see it again. Went back there to Christopher, dropped forward surely, but that's the decision by referee Clifton Garrett. We'll see if any call comes in there from the side. So there's a slight delay. You'll see an injury there to the Mexican player. He seems to be down. That is number 14, Christopher from Great Britain. Got a little bit of a knee to his back from the player from TNT coming forward. So there on the screen, of course, it's Clifton Garrett from Guyana. He's done a great job so far. So if TNT do get this scrum with literally seconds left, what a chance it could be if they could get some more points on the board. Big scrum now for TNT.
Indeed, points on the board would be ideal for TTO just before halftime here, and conversely, preventing points at this point would be excellent for Mexico in terms of a mental game.
Oh, definitely. Now we're just, of course, this is the first scrum with Christopher Daniel. Is there going to be a little bit of a difference? So it is Mexico's ball, and a big scrum comes from TNT. Mexico's scrum really struggling. Back outside. It's a moment of madness by Mexico. It's kicked up field, and they're going to pray that that's the final whistle for the half time. And we'll see the call. No, it might still be a line out for TNT. So TNT was screaming there that scrum should have been theirs. But again, they've got to release that. They've got to let that go. Line out time now. And one last chance for them to fire big pressure from that scrum. I'm not sure what's going on just yet with the Mexican scrum, but it is clearly not working. They move Sebastian Diaz out of the second row, and so far they've not been able to stabilize it.
And as we're seeing here, we have no wind on the field at all either. It's very much decreased at this point in time, so we'll see how that affects the lineouts now.
Hopefully, so they do look to go. It's faked and stolen by Mexico. Pressure comes. Rod smartly doesn't throw it. Bought on and now, and Claire comes, but no one there finally. And TNT slow to get back once more. Lee, low chop tackle, working so hard. Rod seeing numbers. Mateo, wide ball. Luke out, but it's loose again, and pressure comes from James Phillip wearing number 11, and TNT don't want to give any penalties away in this situation, force Mexico to give them back the ball, but they look to use Big Sam. That's where number 6, and look at them work their drive and carried about 3 TNT players back to Mateo. Wide ball again, that's Luke inside center, and TNT look to contest that one there, and they do steal it. And TNT, it might be a little far away from the kick, but Nathan, he says he wants a piece. You've seen him pointing for it. Are they going to trust him in these conditions? And they do. They opt to give him one last kick. Of course, if he misses and it goes out of bounds, that might be the first half there.
To be fair to Nathan, we've seen some really good power coming off of his legs today. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past his confidence at this point in time.
Yeah, why not? Smart move Of course, I would just say TNT had from that line out there, not sure exactly what happened. They did a fake, and then they just threw it into nobody, and Mexico almost capitalized. As you say, TNT up by 5. They cannot give away points in this condition. That's why I'm almost saying go for the glory now. If you miss, it might be the end of the half. Slight difference with time, of course, with the stoppage with injury. So Nathan Achim, STU player, settles himself. First cap for his country. Achim, it's not going to make it. And it's still there bouncing around, and they let it trickle out. Did he touch it though? We'll see the call. So it is a 22 dropout for Mexico. TNT actually slow to adjust, and Mexico might up the tempo, or they might actually be willing to just take it to the halftime as well. So TNT adjust. They're taking their foot off the throat of Mexico, to be honest. Had a few chances here. And Mexico actually gave the kicking duties once more to the 8-man and captain, Sebastian Diaz. And he drops it out again to no one. And Shaquille Dite working, but look at the amount of space and time they're taking. Back to Lee inside the 22. Brilliant kick. And he doesn't use Shaquille Dite. Shockingly, if they give up a penalty here, it's actually a penalty for TNT. Great work there by Dite. So not supporting your body weight is the call. That looks like to be the outside centre, Ricky. And Nathan Achim, I think they really need to slow down Alex now, not play around with points.
I agree with you, but I think at this time that was a little too slow on TTO's part. Mexico noted the field awareness and noted where the space was at home.
So that kick did not find out of bounds, and captain finds space, and he goes through about 15 so far. It's just turned over just at the end. How did they let Diaz walk through the TNT defense all the way to the 22, and TNT under big pressure again? So they settle it down, it slowed right down every time. They just kind of use Lee, but Mexico is onto it, and they're applying bodies, catching him behind the game line. Here's Marcus Daniel. Brought in again, of course, for the injured Travis Carmichael. Roller line comes, and here comes Achim. Takes a while to bring it under control. Pop back up to Shaquille Dite, and they're throwing it around now. Of course, it's just a scrum advantage. It might be advantage over, and hacked to the field there by Chris Pudi Hudson. Is going to find the ground and brought under control by Chepi, who beats one. Dante not following up. Lee now there for Mateo. Mateo steps back inside and slammed back by Travis Carmichael. Big space opening up, recognized by the island. Pass wide now, big numbers out, and tackle comes. There was some space there for Mexico, who happily slow it down again. Mexico down by 5, and can they strike right on the moment of half? They use the big man again. That's 3, that's Ron right in front of the post. Numbers to the left. Davide uses the Australian now. Back on the 5, every carry making yards. Bora, he knows one way. Forward, yards again. They're right there. Should be clear hands. And Luke somehow brought down, and it is a try. So clear as day it was on, and Mexico just so methodical. Phase after phase, nothing forced. And Luke with a try.
Mexico really waited and worked hard on that try. Started though by their observation of space in the back there, and on that sense TTO was a bit too slow to respond and gather up that ball. Found themselves in a position deep into their own 22, pushed up in the Mexican defense, even though they got it back, tried to push it out, lost the ball again there, and Mexico is just very deliberate, working from side to side of the pitch, from one side to the other, working that ball down to the ultimate end that we have here of 5 points, and with an attempt on goal.
The scores are level 10-all with the kick to come. Luke, of course, plays for the Tasmania Rugby Club in Mexico, so a big moment for them. I'm sure they're celebrating back home. And here's the kick to take Mexico into the lead. And the scores remain level, so it is 10-all. You'll get an idea of where we stand. Of course, with that injury, we're slightly off with the timing. We'll keep you abreast. Calls coming in. So I believe the touch judge just gave a signal that there are about 5 minutes left. And Mexico are thrilled. Again, they were pinned on their own 5-meter line there. Big pressure scrum. It looked like Trinidad had them there. somehow find space, and from a line out for TNT again in the Mexican half, they were able to just settle it back down, steal that. A big break by their captain Sebastian Diaz, forced a knock on, but TNT forcing possession a little bit, keeping ball in hand. And Christopher Hudson, can he settle him down? Another stellar kick all the way to Diaz. They call him a rock for the reason, and again he looks to kick, so he's using his boot to perfection, and it's going to be a line out for TNT. And what a kick all the way past the 10. Unbelievable kick there by El Piedra. So I will just notice as well, again, you may not be picking this up on the video, but TNT's back three is really struggling to lock down the space, the polar opposite of Mexico. Anytime Mexico kick, the ball is finding ground, and TNT slow to get back. You saw how much pressure they were under again. It is clearly a change in tactic, well identified by Mexico. So can they secure this line out? They've gone to a 4-man. Actually, it looks like Mexico not matching numbers, but we'll see if any call comes in. No, it is a 5-man. I just didn't see Sugar Bear there. And somehow brought under control again. A very sloppy line out comes down there. And Mexico just get back on side. Christopher Pooty Hudson back inside. There's Anderson, the Island Joseph. Stays on his feet just long enough for the clear. And feet in, and it is a play on as he called. And brought down. So it does not look like... Oh, that is a bad play there by Sugar Bear, wearing number 6. Almost gave away the penalty, but big hands again. Diaz, I do call for the injury. It does look like the Anderson Joseph Island is down after that heavy collision. So another big injury. He, of course, is the talisman in that back row. Anderson Joseph winning so many caps for his country, winning MVP on so many occasions. He also stars for the TNT Sevens program. He might have just taken some contact to the back of the head there at the last ruck. And Mexico, they struggled at ruck time. You're seeing them starting to add pressure, apply those counter rucks. Alex, is this the momentum swing we feared?
I mean, this is the momentum that we certainly spoke about, right? So we were talking earlier about how it takes a little time to settle, test out your opponent, test out the conditions in the field, and get accustomed to moving on your plays. And I think we're seeing that from Mexico and from Trinidad. Of both those things settling in, of Mexico finding their footing on this field, and Trinidad responding, and also being a little slowed down as well by their own energy levels.
So, as I say, Anderson seems to be finding his way. He's up talking to the medic. So again, all safety precautions. Again, take a little look as we're waiting. Some hail out there. Go on, Matt Huggins. Will he get a chance to get his first cap for TNT later today? We'll find out. We are checking Gavin McLeavy, giving some comments there. We will make a little note. Thank you. We will confirm that for you. Good work by Mexico is the call from Gavin McLeavy. Gentle reminder, Gavin, your fly half is playing for TNT. So lots of comments coming in. We appreciate all the support from all around the world. Taking a look here. So it is going to go back for the scrum. And Anderson Joseph remains on the field. TNT breathe a sigh of relief. Wearing number 7. He's going to push through again, just minutes away from half time. They stroll on down. TNT just want to get through. You're feeling that shift there. Mexico trying to apply all the pressure. They're trying to get that tempo up. They're feeling it. They want to continue it. And TNT just want to get out of here. If they could keep the score leveled going into that first half or second half, they will consider it a major, major win.
Indeed. If Trinidad is able to score at this point, it'll give them a great boost up heading into the second half. And similarly, if Mexico is able to either score or keep the scores as they are, since they're building at this point, it'll really, really help their progression of this game.
So another solid scrum there by Mexico, taken up by outside centre Ricky. Again, Jonathan Stewart, that Sugar Bear, wearing number 6 for TNT, is very close to giving away some penalties at these rucks. He's got to be careful. He cannot start pushing it too much. Oh, it might be intercepted there. No, it's thrown wide and it's play on. That's number 1. What pace. That's Axel for Mexico. brought down, and can Mexico strike again? Liam Cabral is really struggling to get back. That's number 4. And they're not going to be able to apply any go-forward pressure here. Turnover, TNT ball. Once again, that might be Shaquille Dyke getting involved. And Nathan Achim slams it up, but it's going to stay. No, he finds touch. Brilliant work. Once more. And TNT begging for this halftime hooter to come. Mexican back through again. I just have to say, I'm so impressed with the movement of number 11. That's Chepe. He is really forcing TNT's hand. Every time TNT look to set up a kick, he's making his way back there. He's talking to his fullback. He's adjusting so sharply. A real lesson for anybody back home taking in this game. So line out time, Mexico still inside TNT's half. Bora to throw. He's been excellent in the open play. Wind starting to pick back up Alex. And it's off the top again by Mexico, out to Mateo. Wide ball. That's Ricky. Ricky with options to Davide. And Davide is through. Looks for his support. Almost had him there with Luke. Ups to take it going down. Did not want to force the pass. And Rod, easy as you like, out again. That's Ron. Setting it up. Pressure comes from Mexico. Can TNT hold? Hands coming in from Lee's. Told to let go. And Rod out again. Mateo to the Australian. That's Vesey. And they try to contest once more. But Rod with a big overlap out wide. The big man, that's the captain. Diaz. He takes it in. Here comes Luke. Stellar work, try scorer. Met to Davide. Tackle on the 5. All too common space for Mexico. Missed one. That's the big man. That's Guti. And they're right there. It's turnover. And it's turned over and dropped, unfortunately. That was the opportunity. So it is a knock on. And it's going to be a scrum to Mexico right in front, just outside, or just inside, I should say, the 22. And Alex could barely contain herself. She's begging for the halftime to come.
I don't know if I'm begging for the halftime to come, or I don't know if TTO or Mexico is begging for the halftime to come at this point. But it's been a very exciting couple of phases that just happened there. That certainly brings one to one's feet, just to get a better view of what's going on.
But you could feel the tension as well in the crowd. It is a hushed silence. No one knows how this game is going to start. But if Mexico scored here, it could be a big momentum swing. 10-all. Surely seconds left in this first half. Mateo, the Argentine, sets up right behind the scrum. Is he going to look to roll with Diaz to the right? Christopher, he fakes the roll to the right. And now they look to push left. Here's Big Luke. Out to Mateo. Long ball here. And here he goes. Chepe for the line. Could find it himself. Big counter tackle comes by James Phillip. I don't know how he secured that. But they're going to use Luke again. And he's over for a double. Big Luke has got a double.
That was a great try by Mexico there, coming off of their scrum and setting up in the for the corner there. That was a great team try there, with the forwards in the scrum and then the backs running that play and getting it out, and Chepe committing to that corner. Great cover tackle, but very good offloads there by the Mexican team, and really committing for that line.
Yeah, just simple little options there by Mexico, utilizing that quick ball. Of course, TNT struggling so much to adjust defensively that they just cannot apply go-forward pressure. So little pop-offs there from Rodri to Luke, and Luke just literally cleared his line, just ran a very simple angle on the heels of Achem, who just could not adjust, and they took that try, and now they could push it to 17 here if this is a successful kick. So he settles himself again.
Yeah, right now in this last 10 minutes of the game, we're really seeing tiredness creep in and discipline falling with respect to that defensive line from TTO. And on the contrary, Mexico has almost been gearing up and are really pushing for those holes, really pushing across the defense and having the ball moving across their team, across the hands, to try to find those gaps. So as they go into the second half, that's really going to be on the minds of both teams, of figuring out how to maintain discipline as we go into the second half.
So now with that converted kick, it's going to be 17-10 to Mexico. They strike right before the half. We're going to be on with Sumi Speaks just now for an interview, and then we will be back shortly. Thanks for tuning in. You're seeing in your screen there, of course, forwards coach. That is Lowry, James Lowry, speaking with his captain, who is all too comfortable. Well done to Mexico, how they steadied that ship. We will be back.
We love when our moms support us.
Well, folks, as we're waiting for Sumi to come out, we're back to the live stream, and thanks everyone for all these comments. We're seeing Jim Ashley. Excellent commentary by both announcers. Thank you from Canada. Much appreciated. Adam Dadams, influencer, currently up in the UK, but we see him all the time on Instagram. Go on, Flub. God bless you. And Philip Lazary. Oh, I'm getting a lot of love here, Alex. I have a lot of family all over. That's the only logical thing. And my mom is commenting. Carol Stone 500, great commentary, Robert. But let's talk about some of the players for a minute. I am quite vain, but we'll try to find some great comments. So Gavin McLeavy just hailing out. I've got a lot of love for Mexico too, and I will be going to Mexico in August for the under-19s for RAN, so we look forward to seeing that. That is a stellar one. I believe this is their third year. And let's move on. Alex, give me a little bit of information for some of these Mexican players that we could highlight.
Well, right now I think we have Mexican players coming from all over Mexico, whether it's Mexico City, Querétaro, Texas, or Guerrero, whether they're based internationally as well in the U.S. So we have players from all over, clubs from all over, Pumas Rugby, UNAM, which I know for the Mexican women's team, quite a few of their las mujeres, like hail from the Pumas. So I'm sure they're very proud as well. And I mean, concurrently happening right now is Mexico Trinidad, the women's team, happening live in Mexico City right now as well. So it's a very big day for rugby for both of these countries and for our region in general.
Yeah, definitely. I'm seeing some comments coming here as well. Nicholas Navarro, the back three always looking to run. Let's see if we can't pass the space a little earlier too. Trini Cascade, Sugar Bear, maybe the smallest forward I've seen. Yes, that is 100% accurate. So we continue to go on again.
He might be small, but he's very mighty and has a heart of a champion.
Yeah, he's a powerful one, that is for sure. So good to see so many people from all around the world chiming in. Nigel Lobo, thanks for your comments from Tampa. Just to tell you how so many people support this RAN fraternity from everywhere. We absolutely love it. Rugby Russia, good game. Thank you, Rugby Russia. Really enjoying it. A lot of love for the Sugar Bear. Not a surprise. And Matthew Hughes, go on Matt Huggins. We're looking forward to seeing him get his first cap. So actually, Al, we're going to talk about that before play comes back on. Looking at the bench, you're seeing some very tired TNT players. But the entire bench, basically, Alex, in new caps. Where do they turn? They have Andreas York, Joshua Hector, Reese Valeric, Naldo Bermudez, Matthew Huggins, and Joshua Marsan, all on their first cap. Can they be brought in down to Mexico on home soil? Is the occasion too much for them?
I mean, there's only one way to find out there. I mean, I think it's a great thing for all these players that, you know, are not new to the game, certainly not to the local rugby scene, to be having these opportunities to grow their game and represent their clubs, their country, their friends and their family on this stage. And then for Trinidad Rugby, for regional rugby as well, it's great that we're having so many players from both teams that are growing their game in this way.
And I'd actually want to just give a hail out, of course, to the Mexico fraternity. They are just breeding incredible player after incredible player. So last year, when I looked at the team sheet for this year, they are missing basically the entire back row. As I highlighted before, Diego Sanchez and Emilio Sanchez, you would have seen them in the RAN Sevens. They are stellar. But even their scrum half, Rodriguez, Christian Alvarez, who is their fly half, great game. And their two center partnership of Connor and Brandon Aguilera. He was unbelievable. But once again, look at this back line. And Luke at inside center for Mexico today is putting on a show and a clinic. Two stellar tries. He just recognizes when TNT is under pressure at those rucks. They have to work backwards, and he just hits that line so close, forcing TNT. They can't come forward, and he just makes the odds every time. Great, great work. I want to hail out as well. I was speaking to the coaches just in terms of one of my favorite players, blindside flank from last year. That's Jean-Paul Ziza. He's not here this year. Unreal player. I believe he had surgery recently. The coaching staff just wanted to hail him out as well. So many talented players coming out of Mexico. We hope they continue to shine. A powerful Mexico is a powerful RAN, which is good for everyone. Alex.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of representation from across Mexican clubs today. So earlier I was talking about Pumas Rugby UNAM, which is the Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico. But we have quite a few others. So we have the Querétaro Rugby Roosters from Querétaro, the Cumayas Rugby Montero en Nueva León, Tasmania Rugby from Mexico City, the Austin Huns Rugby from Mexico City as well. We have from across different states in Mexico, so from Coahuila, We have the Saltillo Rugby Club. That'll be Christopher Antonio Colreyes representing his club there. And then we have some international clubs as well from Texas. So Dallas Harlequins based in the US as well. So quite a range of clubs represented and being drawn from to draw strength for this Mexico side.
Definitely.
And of course, I can't forget the Black Thunder Rugby Club as well.
How could we forget? They've gotten so many talented players from that club. Just going again to the live chat, Alex, and we thank everybody. And it's amazing to see people from all over the world. Cheryl Pilkington. Can the players wait? Sorry, I'm not going to read that one. Cheryl, I'm a Trinidadian living in England, enjoying the game. Thank you, Cheryl. That's the one I'll read. Jamie Vesey, big man Vesey. That's right. Nicholas Martinez, thank you for your comments. Great guy. He is the president of the Enthusiast Rugby Club. And Richard White, get Huggy in space and he will run circles around Mexico. Well, we look to see it. Maybe will he be a prophet? We'll find out soon. So much support coming in from all over the world, and we hope you're enjoying it. Steve Lewis is here involved. Well, I should highlight as well, as we're highlighting all the players from Mexico, let's call some players from the local game. We're about to bring Sumi Speaks on now, so I'll hold back on that. Look out now for Sumi Speaks. Shots matched with a little sunshine only in Sweet TNT. We'll tell you when we get that transition shortly. And we see Joe Rohr get Huggy on. Well, we'll see what we could do for you, Joey. Hopefully you're having a little pint back in England. Huggy representing Oscar Sevens, that we know. Callum Richardson, bring Huggins on. We should have Sumi on very shortly again, coming to that second half.
Guys, it's Sumi again. Club. So we're in the crowd with fans and we just getting a little bit of the reactions for the game so far. Hi guys, so we're here with Keanu, a retired member of Caribs. How the game going for you so far?
Oh, it's going great.
You have anything to say to the boys?
That's how they keep pushing. They're doing a lot of good stuff out there, and that's how they keep at it.
All right, that's from Keanu. And Tank, yeah, come on. All right, guys. This is Carlin Alexander, also known as Tank. He is unfortunately unable to make the run with the boys due to an injury. Talk to your team.
Boys, that's why I talk about they hard and play hard. We home, so just give it all your all and we back in all your 100%.
How the game going for you so far?
The game is a fast game, open game. We like the defensive speed. Chasing, right now is the man of the match. You're making the tackles, big up yourself.
All right, guys. That was Chasing. We're coming in here to get some words from Jamal. We're coming to Jamal. All right, Jamal, talk to me. What is your thoughts on the game so far?
Just a few mistakes we could sharpen up on for the second half, and unfortunately for Travis that he will be watching from the sideline now. But other than that, we're going good, man. Hold on to it in the second half, go up 2 tries and we're good to go. Yeah, thanks.
And a few words from our president, Kanisha Vincent. She's in the crowd spectating today, guys. So how the game going for you today, Miss Vincent?
It's very exciting. You can see the players really trying their best to put on what they've learned in training.
Do you have any thoughts on anything else, on how the game going?
In terms of the game, I think that once we stick to the things that we do well, we will have a really good showing in the second half.
And you have any words of encouragement to the team?
I think once they push forward, they press forward as a team, we'd really put the pressure on Mexico to do much better than they have done before.
Thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna get some words from Staggy. I got boss. All right, Staggy, talk to me. Yes, I'm coming to talk to you. All right, so give me your thoughts and insights on the game so far.
I think the guys are doing really well. I just think we are trying to run it out of our red zone a lot. And there are like 8-9 phases in the red zone. I think we should probably try to play a bit more territory and kick a bit more instead of running it out to the red zone and then turn it over in the red zone. Because right now, the defense is holding up really well, but we're trying to run it from too deep. And when we turn it over, Mexico is getting the turnovers and attacking end of the field. And we should try to play deeper and try to play the game more on the end in Mexico's territory rather than our territory. We're trying to run it way too much out to the red zone.
And with the game going into the second half, you think that it's possible for us to turn it around with the score being as it is right now?
I think it's definitely possible. Like I think Trinidad's going to win. So I would like to see if we could just be tighter and play again more territory. I would like to hope that the coaches would like to see the same thing that I've been seeing and with the media adjustments at halftime now. So in the speech in the tunnel or in the locker room, I should say.
You have any words of encouragement for the team going forward?
TTO. Yeah.
TTO. All right, so that is it from me in the stands, guys. I am giving it back to the commentators booth with Alex and Flub.
All right, well, thank you, Sumi, for all your incredible work and so many superstars. You saw that she was just talking to Richard Staglan. Of course, if you know anything about RAN Rugby, you're going to know Richard Staglan, a former West Indian player, Guyanese player. He represents several clubs. Now he's at a touring club as well. Pui Rugby, getting things done. Just seeing some last comments here in the stream before we get back to the action. Seeing Big Mark Possessor, Alex Adams looks like he's trying to convince people to play some all fours in the stands. Yes, he is. He was right behind Richard Staglan. Seeing Iran, I'm going to mess up your name, sir. Vamos, Mexico. Well said. And of course, let's see Christian Mertens. Good luck to my grandson Nathan, all the way from Belgium. How nice. I'm sure he'll look on, and I'm sure he's making you proud back home. So some final advice coming in from the side there. And some hail out there for Richard Staglan, giving some great knowledge. So we are moments away. We're going to see if we have anybody coming and joining us. If there are any changes, a final flurry of rain right before the halftime. Alex, any thoughts going into this one?
I mean, as we say, I mean, está lloviendo a cántaros. Like it's pouring rain right now. It seems to have eased up in the last 2 minutes or so, but it is going to be a very wet field, and I'm already seeing puddles forming on the field, so we're seeing that it's going to be waterlogged a bit. So this is definitely going to be a forwards game, keeping the ball close at hand and really pushing bodies up. So I'm expecting the second half to see a lot more contact. I don't know how that's possible because we've had a lot of contact in the first half, but definitely the field and the conditions are lending itself to a certain kind of game, a certain very physical aspect of the game coming up the road for the second half.
Yeah, I'll say, just looking around as well, Alex, you felt the tension in the stadium right before the half as the score came in there from Mexico. But during this half time, I'll tell you something, the entire crowd is having a great time. The stadium is starting to rock here, and I hope we could give this energy to the players to just relax a little bit, realize they're only 7 points down. They're about to get a little bit of advantage with the breeze as well. This is not over, far from, only 7 points.
No, this is far from over. With 40 more points in the game to go and then some. This is very much far from over. There's a lot of work to be done going into this. Their coaches are going to be telling them exactly, what areas to work on, what weaknesses were kind of revealed in that especially last 20 minutes of the game, and how to improve on it. I mean, we also have a full bench, quite a bit of a bench still to pull on for this team, and that goes for both teams. I don't believe the Mexican team has made changes as yet, so they still have a fresh bench to draw on, which again will change the dynamic of this game today.
Yeah, I'm just so impressed as well with the Mexican team and their coaching staff. You saw what they were doing early in the game with that quick ruck tempo, throwing it out wide, how they were able to settle it down. Their back three, their movement is just off the ball has just been incredible. TNT just getting no space, anything kicked to them. They're returning with interest. It is a special game. But surely, if you look at the TNT back three as well, you have James Phillip, who's one of the most decorated back three players in the entire Caribbean. Jonathan Taylor, the superstar, he actually represented in France recently with Alliance Rugby, and Shaquille Dyke. They're going to get it together. They're going to bring it together, a new combination, but it is moments away from firing, no doubt. Will we see maybe a first cap for Ronaldo Bermudez? Of course, so many caps for his local club, Caribs RFC. We should mention some clubs you were mentioning earlier as well. We did it for the Mexican team. Let's do it for TNT. So first up, Travis Carmichael, injured unfortunately. He's of course Royalians. Christopher Daniel, Caribs. Trezine McLean, Royalians. Liam Cabrales, Northerns. Ascari Dawud, Caribs. Anderson Joseph, Caribs. Sugar Bay, that's Jonathan Stewart, that's Northerns. Caselli, Brighton Rugby Club. Nathaniel Cadiz is Caribs. Nathan Atchim represents St. Thomas University. James Phillip on one wing is Northerns. Christopher Pudi Hudson, Northerns. Dante Hazard from Defence Force / Harvards. Jonathan Taylor, Caribs. And Shaquille Dyte, your captain from Harvards. On the bench, Marcus Daniel, he came on the 20th minute mark, is a Caribs player. Joshua Marsan, Harvards. Wazem Oliver, Royalians captain. He adds so much when he comes on. Andreas York, first cap for Royalians. Struggles a little bit with his upright carry work, but brilliant in the scrum and line out. We'll see how it manifests. Joshua Hector, that's Harvard's. Reese Valet, Caribs. Reese, an under-19 player. Will it transition to success at the national level? Ronaldo Bermudez, brilliant with the boot. That's Caribs as well. And Matthew Huggins, hailing from the UK, the police officer. Swindon RFC, TVP Stags, Oscar Sevens, and Saints Sevens. The head coach, of course, for TNT, I didn't mention it yet, is Dale Trotman, former national player himself, known internationally as Beast. And what a great job he's done with the program. So we are moments away as well. We cannot tell you what a party event it has been up here. The bear sales have been astronomical, I'll just say that. And actually, I'm looking out there through the window, seeing Matt Huggins' parents, and they have all the TNT merchandise on. They're having quite a time, and I think every local has bought them a bear as well. I'll tell you, we'll try to take some pictures with them to send out to the fraternity later. It's so nice to see them embraced by the entire team and all the supporters. Will Matt get his first cap here today?
I think that's a very common aspect, that family support all across the different islands, all across the different nations of our Rugby America's North family. We definitely see when we're going to different countries, whether it's Trinidad, Barbados, Guyana, Mexico, no matter where we are, the community definitely comes out and supports in their full colours and their full gear and in their full sound as well, because believe me, we're hearing them loud and clear right here in the box as excitement on the field develops.
Yeah, so the TNT coaching staff has made their way out. The manager is Sean Cizet. Dale Trotman, as I said, is head coach and absolute legend of Caribbean rugby. Brendan O'Farrell as well. He's just the most relaxed player. Honestly, he's on my Mount Rushmore of the greatest players ever to play in the region. Unreal talent. And he's still doing it. We had a little tournament recently, a little touch something. He destroyed us. It's quite embarrassing. Mexico's forward coach has actually been walking up and down the pitch, just taking in the conditions. He's been so smart at how he's handled his forwards. He actually hails, that's James Lowry from New Zealand. Great guy. He spent some time with us, just updating us about the squad, updating what they're trying to do with the program. And I should mention as well their manager, the Mexican team manager. He's been so brilliant as well. That is Mateo Musap, just making us so available, let us meet some of the teammates, says what they're doing, what their plans are. He's just so passionate about everything Mexico rugby, and we wish the best for them. We love when teams come down here to visit and tour. We always want to put on a show. Next time I told him he has to stay a little later so we could get him some doubles and roti and take him down the islands and to the beach. That's what it's all about, give them the experience to enjoy. So we're about 2 minutes away from kicking off in this second half. The rain has started to subside ever so slightly, but of course as I say that, it'll start pouring instantly. The breeze is starting to flourish again, which is going to play in TNT's favour, and the crowd continues to pick up all around. You're feeling the energy once more. Can it manifest on to the players? One last look at the comment section here. Big up Sally and Warren Huggins. Will do. Oh, well, I guess that's her name. I'll make sure to hail them out there. Half at the women's game, Mexico, it's 19 to Mexico, 17 TTO, so it's a nail biter there as well. Brilliant stuff, well done to the TTO girls. It is not easy to travel to Mexico and have that sort of result. The conditions are impossible. So I hope you're around the world enjoying this game, celebrating with your local club. If possible, take a picture with you and your club having a beer and post it on Instagram for us. Please tag us. We'd love to share that with everybody in our fraternity as well. Can you say up to Swindon? I guess I can. Hopefully that doesn't mean anything too bad. Let's go, Huggy. Do Oscars proud. That's coming in from Harry Porter. Harry, we hope you'll visit us one day here in Sweet TNT. We of course have some international sevens starting back in Tobago in December. We have RAN sevens later this year. It is a huge party. Come out and take that in. It is absolutely unbelievable. Canada came down as well. They put on a show. Barbados won our region. What a stellar work there from that team and that crew. And they would be actually in a big game today against Guyana. Can't wait to go home and take that one in. Don't think my wife knows yet that I'll be watching that game when I go home, Alex.
I mean, you could always watch it with her. It'd be nice.
Good times. Yeah. You don't know marriage too much, do you, Alex?
I'll learn it in September when I tell you not myself.
Yes, recently engaged. Congratulations to Alex Lewis, of course.
Thank you.
So the teams are making their way out shortly. We are seconds away. Last minute preparations right before was actually the UE 100th commemorative game, and that's why the crowd has been staying and partying it up. So again, Mexico leading 17 to 10. Just making sure I have all the information. We're starting to get some information pouring in. And it is confirmed there, Gavin. It is 17-10 to Mexico. Seeing some additional news coming in from all over. Huggies belongs to SRC. Well, he's a man in demand. Let's go, wild ball all the way. So you're hearing the... And there you go, Ron Van Putten. Marriage is right as well. Go, Huggy, go. Well said, Ron Van Putten. Thanks for the comment. And he's from Holland himself. The Dutchman. Getting involved. Thank you. That's just to tell you this RAN fraternity spans from all over the globe. It takes so much work here from dedicated people giving up their time and effort to make these kind of things work. So you're seeing the head coach down there trying to give the last little instructions. 40 minutes again, Alex. This is not a friendly. This is not something that is just two teams coming together. This has monster implications. It goes to your funding, where you are ranked globally, and is Mexico just in front of TNT. If TNT could somehow win, that could be the boost that this program needs to take it to the next level as well. Mexico say, look, we aren't joking around. We are coming here. We need this victory. All the training, all the hours of dedication, the time spent in the gym, away from your family, working, it comes down out of 40 more minutes. The music is blaring. You might be picking it up back home as well. Always somehow turns into a party. What a natural fit for Rugby Sevens and Sweet TNT. Later, that's in December. If you're in the area, you gotta drop in. It is an experience like no other. So here in support. Big up Guyana versus Barbados next. That's from Marlon Small. A big supporter of Guyanese rugby. Trini Cascade asking, how does the pitch look with the rain? Well, Alex was mentioning it is looking a little water-soaked. Mexico seems to be a little bit more comfortable out there so far. A lot of their players are sporting studs, and a few of our players have on some rubbers. That is not going to help in these conditions, Alex.
No, it's not going to help in these conditions at all with this level of water, both in the air, in terms of humidity and recovery and that, and then also just on the field. The field is looking pretty wet right now, pretty waterlogged, which, I mean, I'm told forwards always have more fun when it's more muddy. I, as a fullback, do not enjoy it as much.
No.
But it is a good time, I do know that.
No,
You are very correct in talking about that today is not just any ordinary friendly. It's not a friendly at all in that sense. It is a showdown between these two teams. Mexico ranked 38th and Trinidad ranked 49th, according to the World Rugby rankings at the moment. So any shuffles in this, especially if Trinidad were to win this match, would be very, very advantageous to their positioning. But also advantageous the positioning overall of the teams within Rugby America's North in terms of our continental grouping.
Oh, 100%. Now, I would say here, as we're just taking a look, of course, Mexico was so dominant last year, 45-14, and their scrum was just absolutely unstoppable. So yes, we have some new props on a new front row for Mexico, and they've been doing brilliantly well in open play, but they are struggling a little bit in these conditions as well to get a foothold in the game. Is TNT going to start turning that screw at scrum time? Maybe even try to force out a penalty or two, Alex, and then just slow it down from those set pieces?
We're going to see how it goes. They have a lot of options in this case of how they're going to navigate these conditions and how they're going to respond to this young Mexico squad that's really starting to fire at all cylinders at this point.
So every club is being represented here out in the crowd, and we appreciate everyone staying tuned. 40 more minutes of RAN America's North action. You see him on the field just in the bottom of your screen there. That is Mateo Musap. I was mentioning that is the manager for Mexico. Wonderful guy. And he is so passionate about their fraternity. But we apologize if there's some moments of silence. We are still trying to work out one or two technical difficulties as we get ready for the second half. Just please bear with us. The storm has affected a little bit of our communication. There was 2 drops there, hopefully not longer than 30 seconds. And we hope you were able to hear us, try to keep you tuned into the action. We're sure you're just absolutely losing it there, wondering what is happening to my team in those small breaks. So should take a little mention there, Alex. The referee today again is Clifton Garrett from Guyana. Any thoughts about his performance so far?
I think he's been very good so far. His reading of the plays, his calling and keeping the ball live, and keeping the play going. I mean, I've had the pleasure of being reffed by him over the years as well, and he's always been a very fair ref, or at least tries to be, as all of our refs in the region do tend to be.
He's been very, very clear in what his instructions are. Probably the primary thing I am with every referee that I when I watch and I'm commentating is once you blow that whistle, use your hand signals, and he's brilliant at that as well. You may not always agree with the call, but he tells you exactly what he wants and what you are required to do as well when he gives that penalty away, that if you're a back three player, you're flying back, etc. Sometimes you're watching these refs and they blow the whistle and they have a conversation before and it doesn't give the back three a chance to adjust. Anyway, don't let me ramble about that. I'll go down with my thing. I will just say congratulations to Clifton for getting this fixture. It is a massive opportunity for him. So surely only a minute left before the second half. Final preparations. We'll let you know if any changes come through. Nothing has been reported to us just yet. TNT might try to at least get another 15 minutes from this tight 5. Liam Cabrales, again, the try scorer for Trinidad within the first 5 minutes of the game with that pick and go after a very quick start. And a successful conversion and one kick there by Nathan Achim. Mexico steadied themselves. And who else would you trust but inside center Luke to carry it up twice from short conditions, driving it over. Bora, the hooker, so involved in open play. Anytime he needed him as that outlet, sets it up. And young, I believe it's his first cap, Mateo from Argentina, getting around the pitch in very challenging conditions, screaming at his outside backs, telling them what he wants. And young outside centre as well, Ricardo, known as Ricky. Hasn't he been active today? Christopher from Great Britain. He's been involved as when he's fought through that injury. Sebastian Navarro mentioning there, he's chiming in as well. We appreciate that. And Nicholas Navarro, support from all over. Thank you, gentlemen, we appreciate it. Sebastian, several caps for his country, another great fly half coming through. Had a little bit of a shoulder injury which sidelined him for a while. We hope to see him back out there. And Nicholas not far off as well. Great scrum half in his own right. Nice little kicking game option. So much talent coming through. And one man actually, as I have a little chance here, we talk about casting that net out wide, and we have Matt Huggins coming down representing his country. Same thing with Cassell Lee. We have some players there based in Spain. Unbelievable talent. He was there for Ran as well. But one player I would love to see get a chance to come down is based currently in Australia. That's Mark Bessessa. He's chiming in. That's why I'm highlighting it as well. Massive, massive second row option. Big, big future. Played a little bit in Ireland there as well. Wants to come and represent TNT. Why wouldn't you? So we will see. Marcus Arundel, of course, everybody's looking at me. That is the player I'm talking about. He was a superstar at Ran. We hope he will overcome his little injury bug soon, and we'll see him here in December. Marcus, you are recognized. So I may be going crazy, but this may be the longest halftime in history, Alex.
I was just about to go and say, I'm like, this is some good downtime they're getting here on top of the downtime they had during the game, given the two longer injury periods.
Oh, very unusual. Usually Anthony Point Effects has them running like clockwork. Hopefully there's no issue downstairs. We'll keep you abreast. Seeing actually our men's sevens coach, Jonathan O'Connor, downstairs. No shock, having a great time as usual. That man refuses to miss a line. And I would just say as well, as I'm just wasting everybody's time, did you see there during Sumi Speaks, Carl and the Tank Alexander with all those gold chains on? Man, he's a man of class and style. He never misses a boat line either. And of course, former national lock Centurion Jamal Clark. He's there. You just see how even when you finish representing your country there, he comes out. He's always willing to lend a hand, even if the coaching staff need a session with opposition. Always makes himself available. Legend of the game. Brad Sulek chiming in. Maria, 28. We notice you. I think the only reason you'll think it's so long is because you're hearing me ramble on and on. My apologies, folks, from all around the world. Pay no heed. There's still no movement from the tunnel. Adi Ennis King joins the party. I believe he's based now in Grand Cayman. Another player from the Northerns Rugby Club. Jimmy Doyle, all the best. That's Mouse from Roy Leon's club. Jimmy Doyle I think he actually got an injury right before the final training session, or it might be the final scrimmage, but he was having a fantastic camp and he was just on the cusp. He might actually have been on the bench for this game. Jimmy Doyle, you're recognized. Easy with the flirting there, Maria. Yes, there's no thunder as yet, but I mean, we are seeing it rolling in. It is about to start a torrential downpour once more. Sandra chiming in, keep up the fight. All right, folks, we're going to take a short break until kickoff. We'll be back. And we're back. Sorry, Alex.
Hola a todo el mundo, bienvenidos de nuevo a todos nuestros televidentes desde donde quiera se encuentran. Nosotros estamos en vivo desde el estadio Larry Gomes en Trinidad Tobago, donde Trinidad se enfrenta a México. Tras el descanso, el marcador es 17-10 a favor de México y ambos equipos buscan dar lo mejor de sí en este partido. Los hinchas de México deberían estar muy orgullosos de su equipo en este momento, en mi opinión. Estaba lloviendo a cantaros. Right now it's been raining quite heavily. So right now the field is pretty waterlogged. So welcome back to all of our viewers wherever you are. We're live here at Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima in Trinidad and Tobago, where Trinidad is facing off against Mexico. After our break at the halftime, the score is 17-10 in favor of Mexico, and both teams are looking to give their all in this match.
Thank you very much, Alex. Now, we just want to thank everyone for their patience. We're actually just waiting for the ambulance before we're allowed to kick back off. So just give us a few more minutes of your time. You're seeing both teams are back out, so we are expecting it to restart shortly. We appreciate everybody staying tuned in. We'll try to keep you abreast of the situation as it unfolds.
Right now, player safety, as always, is paramount throughout rugby. From World Rugby come down, and Trinidad and hosting here in Trinidad and Tobago under Rugby Americas North is no different. So at this time, we're waiting for the all clear for us to proceed with today's game. And as we can see, both teams are raring and ready to go to resume today's test match.
Mexico as well. We will probably just take a short break until kickoff there, just to get more information for you all. So we'll be back shortly. Thanks again. Please stay tuned in. It should just be a matter of a few minutes. All right, folks, we are back as Mexico does their final warm-up. The medical team is back. The referee, Clifton Garrett, just going through the final protocols. And we're just going to do a last little mention. Again, thanks to everyone from around the world. We're saying, let's go Big Sippy, Los Vesti. That, of course, is the second row. Thomas Vesti, the Australian, wearing number 5. That comes in. Andrew Crooks, he's tuning in. Good job there, Andrew Crooks. Lots of fans coming in. See, yes, so it is absolutely back to storming conditions. It is going to be horrific. Any ball in the air is going to spiral out of control. You might, I mean, surely you're making it out on the screen now. It has just gone from bad to worse. We'll keep you all, again, just moments away. We're just trying to get some last bit of information. All right, folks, we are back in action here as the storming continues. Clifton Garrett making his way out. Mexico to kick off now. They are playing from south to north. TNT setup. They cannot afford a mistake from this kickoff. We're seeing 1 or 2 changes coming in from Mexico. Number 20, Bernardo. That's Bernie. He's making his way onto the field. Can he have the impact that they expect? Kicking off is Mateo, the Argentine, in his first cap. And here we go, folks. 40 minutes, everything on the line. High kick, and TNT let it bounce foolishly. And Lee under pressure just hacked back and stays on the field. That's Marcus Daniel outside the 22. Brought down, and it's advantage TNT. Set up again, Askari Dawood. So TNT again playing with the breeze in this half. Shazeen, the only man to his out, goes back to Achim. Achim hacks it upfield, but it's not a lot of ground there, and it's just outside the 22, actually inside the 22. Remember, it was carried back in from the pass, and Achim argues it, but that is the correct call. So it is a line out for Mexico, Alex, inside the 22 to start this game.
This is the ideal position for Mexico to resume this game. They're going to want to come back strong. They ended the first half in a very strong position with 10-17 points. So at this point, where they are, just shy of their 10, just outside their 10, they're going to be wanting to capitalize on this position here.
So full line out, and it's very ugly, and it's not straight, so a big mistake there by Mexico. So the little bit of changes in personnel have the opposite effect, and it's a free kick tapped by Lee. Lee slams it in and somehow breaks the first tackle, but he's propelled backwards now. Going to use one. Go to the smallest man, that's Christopher Daniel. Trezine Clays. Big pressure, and it's advantage TNT. Pressure comes, dives over, and it is advantage. Hands in the ruck there for TNT. So Shaquille Dite again slows it down. He hands it to Nathan Achim. Get us out of here, please. Get us in their territory. Again, with the breeze. That's a low kick, but it skims out of bounds. And TNT enter Mexico's half. Line out time. So again, you're just seeing the pitch slowly filling up. Puddles forming all over. 1 or 2 of the TNT players have changed their boots.
These conditions aren't really favouring lineouts in this second half. Lineouts with this kind of wind affecting the throw of the ball, and then this amount of rain affecting visibility and grip really are pushing, going to push both teams to figure this out.
Well, defensively, you would think that they would just go 2, and they do, but Rodri could not hold it. So a let off for TNT, and it's advantage play on. Here he comes, Marcus Daniel, so influential since he's come on. Looks to just hold on, out wider. There's Achim, wider to Pudi Hudson. It's a little bit on if they go, and it's forced, and he does knock it on. That might be a yellow card, but they just go back. 40 scrum, so actually when you saw it, the outside centre there, that's Ricky. Once he touched it and knocked it forward, he put his hands in his head. He thought he was going to be yellow carded there, but we're just going to go back for the knock on. So TNT ball inside the Mexico half.
He's very lucky that the ref brought that back, because, I mean, as you would call it, a professional foul. You should know better. If you're going to go for that intercept, you better hand get it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of wiggle room there. And a let off for Mexico. So again, TNT, the elaborate backline moves that they've been practicing for months, will go to naught as the rain continues to pour. You can just see it is filling up like a pool out there. So the options have to just go down to 1. And surely Achim and Chris Pudi Hudson, you see how flat they are. You're not going to see it in your screen, but as it goes out, they might just look for a little chip and chase, and it's going to be a ton of work for Davide, the Italian fullback. Here it is, wider ball. They actually look at the switch. There's Achim. He's looking to push it wider, good himself. Out to Shaquille Tight. Switch looks to come. Throws it back inside. That's Jonathan Taylor. Very surprising stuff given these conditions. But here comes the Clare, and what are they going to do from here? Christopher Hudson. They're still looking to play. Christopher Daniel. He takes it down. Clare from Mexico. He looks to get over the ball. And if they play for TNT. Used again as Trezine McLean. Stays on his feet. Every pass is a risk in these conditions. Nathaniel Cadiz gets there. Chris Hudson taking over the fly full. Hacks it back. Davide has a lot to do. And they let it trickle. What a kick there by Christopher Pudi Hudson. And he gets a clap of appreciation from the crowd. Very, very well done. And it's going to be a line out. So surely here, Alex, surely TNT will throw up somebody at 2 and force Mexico. Force them to do something other than just throw up a generic. Anything there. Well, Alex agrees with me. And Bora to through. And you're seeing TNT are going to do that. So Liam is just going to do a generic lift of the Sugar Bear in front. And here they go at 2. And it's brought down there smartly by Sam. And here comes the first rolling ball. TNT can't drop it. And it comes in at an angle from Sugar Bear. He'll be very, very lucky not to give away a penalty over there. Lee gets his hands in, but it's secured by Mexico. Mexico slow it down again using Bora. Always an available option. And it might be turned over by Lee. The man mounted, he steals it somehow. What a play by Lee, and now it's on to the left. Are they going to force it? Chris Pudi Hudson throws it, it bounces. Dante Hazard, steps 1, steps 2, nothing there. Is his support going to get there in time? Clare comes, but it's up in the air, any call at this point. And settle down. Mexico smartly able to leave it. Taken in, this time by Anderson, the Island Joseph. But not a lot of room for him. Mexico happy to just tighten up the defense now around those rocks. You cannot pass the ball wide. But here comes Achim, who explodes through. And another Clare comes. But Mexico contesting these rocks. Can they stay on their feet? Everybody falling all over. Natty couldn't get his pass off. Mexico flood the line. And it's there again. Mexico, another pick and go. This time it looks like Ascari Dawood. Liam Cabrales drifting out a little bit. This is where it might be a little risky. He's got to be there for the Clare. Ascari's there. And they're starting to plow right through. On the 22, Liam Cabrales, that's what he's brought in for. Nothing more. You're seeing it go. Cassell Lee now. The beast from Brighton. Pick and go. But you see the power of Mexico read it like a book. And he's wrangled down. Bora involved again. They're flooding it. It's anybody's ball at this point. But TNT use over 12 players just to secure that. Counter up comes and it's hacked back. Nathan Achim under huge pressure. He might just want to take this advantage. And they settle it. But is anything on everyone in the frame? Absolutely no one out wide. And another pick and go. Trusting no other option. They look to use again. Liam Cabrales met. That's by the captain. Diaz. Mexico working tirelessly. Wider. Out to Chris Pudi Hudson. Hacks it over. It's a foot race. But it trickles out. And it's straight out on the full. Are they going to play the advantage? Or was it advantage over? We're waiting for the call. So they are going to go back. No, it does look actually that he set advantage over, so it's going to be a line out for Mexico, and Chris Hudson is arguing the point. You're seeing Shaquille Dyke screaming. Of course, he's playing fullback. He's screaming there that he thought he had the advantage and he went for it all. So Bora to throw in. Mexico on their own 10. Mexico joining line out. Vesti goes at 4, but it's overthrown. And it's back at the back there. TNT ball. Marcus Daniel collects. Counter comes Jonathan Stewart. That's his Sugar Bear. He gets over it. Out. Once again to Lee. And Lee can't hold on. And here comes Rod. But it is on offside. So the penalty for TNT. And how are they going to use this in this situation? Surely they're not going to have any option to kick. Are they going to go for the line out? Everything. Are they even just going to go for a tap and go at this point? Or probably take the scrum and see if they could use something at the center of the pitch. You have 2 fly-offs on with Nathan Atcham. Yes, they are going to take the scrum. And so far the scrum has been very successful. They have some changes of personnel. Alex, will it manifest into success?
We'll have to wait and see there. Taking the scrum at this point was a very, very solid call given the conditions and given the performance as well. I just want to make a point of the lineouts. Right now, lineouts are not really favouring both teams. I would love to see the stats on this, but from what I've been noticing, it's pretty evenly matched. Of the teams who are throwing in have an equal chance of either retaining their ball or losing it to that team, and that's been the case for both Trinidad and Mexico on either side of the field. So I'm not sure, it's a great exit strategy here, but I'm not sure it's working too much in either of their favors when that ball gets thrown, given these conditions.
Yeah, so we're taking a look at the scrum now. Both sides, early push came from Mexico. Now Clifton is going to allow it to reset again, but you see that Mexico are very aware of the dangers that this field territory can pose. So Atcham is directly behind the scrum. Chris Pooty Hudson to his right. Shaquille Dyte matching right in between them. They could roll either way. Mexico split. Both their wingers high up. Puts a lot of pressure on Davide. So let's see the scrum again. Big pressure coming on TNT hole. Lee picks and goes open. Crashes. They just want to settle that first. He stays on his feet long enough for the Sugar Bear to get over. And Nathaniel Katie's head comes to Atcham. Atcham looks to dink it over, but that's a kick to no one. It's going to be collected there by number 14. That's Christopher from Great Britain. And he brings it down. Rod gets over it. What a game he's had. At every ruck. So efficient. The lines he's been taking to get there. Well done by the young man. So he looks to set almost to do a box kick. No, he uses his forwards there. That's Bora. Bora takes it in. Sugar Bear tried to get over it, but was paid the price by Vesti. And it's hacked over. That's Mateo up in the air. Shaquille Dyte with a lot to do and somehow does it. Throws a dummy. Looks to go himself. Looks to swing. Now he's under pressure. Can they get there? Sugar Bear tries to clear almost from an offside position. Referee says play on. Back Nathan Atcham. But they want to use one wide. Lee calls for it again, but surely Mexico is in an offside position there. They say play on. No advantage given. And they take it all the way back to the 22. Big pressure. Mexico inviting all those rucks. Atcham pulls it back. Hacked over. Davide tries to get under it. It's going to touch the ground. What's it going to do? Sits up there. And it's there. It looks like Jonathan Taylor's ball, and it does get back. Taylor's ball. Now it's there. Atcham tries to clear. Surely Mexico. Yes, Mexico not supporting their body weight, so it is an advantage. And they don't look to play the advantage. Surely look to tap and go. No, they slow it down, and they're going to take the scrum again. So well done there by TNT. Well done by Jonathan Taylor. And they actually just take a very cheap little line out there. Just a 10-yard gain to set it up. As you suggested, Alex, not a lot going on at these lineouts. How are they going to approach it?
I think they're going to try their best to keep it tight, keep it close, nothing too fancy, and just hope for the best here.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Mexico, they've made a lot of changes. Sorry, Alex, please continue.
No, I was going to say that Jonathan Taylor has been having a very good game as wing. In the first half, we've seen some great athleticism on the side of trying to keep the ball alive when it was going out to touch. And here as well, we're seeing his work here as well to maintain the ball possession, to put TNT in this position off Nathan Atcham's boot.
Definitely. So line out for TNT, but it's stolen by Mexico. Out wider. Is it hacked on? And it might be an advantage. This could be very dangerous. We'll see what happens. Very wide, but in these conditions it goes to no one, and they're going to take it back. So it is knocked on by TNT again. No card shown. And Mexico, a little suggestion that perhaps it should be coming in from the side. So changes coming in. And ladies and gentlemen, I think you're all going to explode. Wearing number 22, Matty Huggins is making his way on for TNT. So Dante Hazard comes off. He was in the outside centre channel. So it looks like Matty's going to slot in at 13. Not the easiest of conditions for him. Good game there by Dante defensively. Didn't get a lot of chances offensively. But a great game there. And again, a big player for TNT in both 15s and 7s format. Huggins slots in outside centre. Yes, so they are going to try to keep the shape, keep the tempo. And I hear this man can fly. Let's see, can TNT apply some pressure from this scrum? No, Mexico with a great push there. They clear it. Mateo hacks it over. Shaquille Dyke, this is a challenging one. It's going to stick when it lands. No, it skims out. And that is a genius kick there by Mateo, the Argentine. Wear and 10 for Mexico. So it's settled. Shaquille Dyke could not possibly get around there. Taking a look at his boots as well. He likes a lighter kind of blade boot, but in these conditions, you're going to need those deeper pegs, like those metal cleats. You see him struggle to turn, and as fullback, of course, that is devastating. So Mexico ball, and I'm actually very shocked with how disoriented, I'd almost say, the Mexican lineout has been. My apologies. So a sub comes in there as number 18. That's Angel for Mexico. He slots right in. And it actually is a TNT ball. My apologies. So Christopher Daniel to throw. They are looking to smartly contest at 2. Might just be throwing Sam up there. And Sugar Bear, the shortest man in the team, they are looking to go 6. And of course, that cannot possibly be straight. Christopher Daniel in these conditions, what a difficult task. Alex, what do you go 6 with a torrential downpour?
I think both teams, I mean, these conditions are really weighing on both teams here. They're trying their best to slug their way up the field, and the conditions just aren't working with what they're trying to do. So I can imagine that mentally is really playing on their spirits here.
Yeah, there's a big difference between what you want to do and what the conditions allow you to do. So interestingly, it looks like Christopher, the winger, has moved to scrum half. And out it comes. Mateo struggles to hold it, and this is a chance for TNT. And it is a knock-on let off for TNT. Of course, only down by a converted try. 15 minutes in this half gone. TNT, of course, they've made it all the way down inside the 22 of Mexico, unable to capitalize. Will Matty Huggins finally get a chance in these conditions? We'll find out shortly. What a game so far by the beast from Brighton. As Caselli, he's been involved. Big carry work there. We're wondering who's going to step up, but it looks actually like Anderson. Joseph moves to 8, and you could expect an 8-man pick here. That's his specialty, and here he goes in these conditions, looking to exploit, and that's what the man could do. Pop back inside to Nathaniel Katie's able to hold on. Claire comes, and it is settled. Out again, Askari Dawood, the apex predator. Not a lot of space created. Liam can't hold it, and it does go forward off Liam. Worried about it as they look to force it in that condition there, and I saw Liam not really the strongest element of his game under pressure to take it, and it is back to the Mexicans. So actually, I'm taking a look now. I do see Wazim Oliver, the Royalians captain, is on, and he has moved to front row. So you notice, of course, Mexico has gotten a little bit of ascendancy. We spoke about it there, where we don't have a specialist tight head to bring on. So Marcus Daniel looks like he's moved to tight head. Wazim might move to loose. We will see. So this is where Mexico is getting a little foothold in the game. Don't be surprised if a front row forward for TNT goes down in the next 10 minutes, pulling a cramp, trying to make it uncontested scrum. So it is a big scrum, and as we just talked about, Mexico, when they actually looking to feed it. Here goes Mateo, space, options. He wanted himself, and what a tackle there. What a tackle by Anderson Joseph. Expect nothing less from the island. Fighting through, the man is relentless. Anderson Joseph take about Mateo, thought he was through, but he's new to meeting the island. And he's speaking to Luke. Sorry, Alex.
That was a beautiful cover tackle there from TTO off of what was an excellent move and reactivity by Mexico. Having granted that free kick, they moved very quickly on that. And had TTO not reacted so decisively, would have been very successful for Mexico on that note. So right. Good job on both teams, given this late stage of the game in these conditions.
So we already spoke to another lost line out for TNT, and brilliantly passed out there by Christopher out now from Luke. Here comes Ricky. Ricky extends it wide. And Matty Huggins forces the pass. Christopher Pudi Hudson now. He's getting involved. TNT Liam struggling to get back inside. Marcus Daniel working as well. Let's see the call coming in. And is it a forward pass? We will see. Just waiting for confirmation actually coming in from the assistant referee. A call coming in. So we will confirm. Not 100% sure. So actually, we're just going to speak about it during this little break here. So we're talking about it. So TNT coach is opting not to bring on that specialist or put a specialist front row forward on the bench. And now TNT under the cuff at scrum. It's going to change your options. They're not going to be able to take that scrum. You might have to start tapping and going, Alex. It simply is not an option anymore. So it's a TNT line out and they go to two smartly. And here we go out wider to Chris Pudi Hudson. Chris Pudi Hudson pulls it back, takes the ruck. And now they're looking to rule. Something started to form here. Nathan Atchim needs to push it upfield, but it's blocked. And Luke almost gets his hand on it, but it's knocked on. And it's a scrum for TNT. One thing about Nathan Atchim, he does take a little while to get the ball out of his hand for those kicks. And they're starting to pinpoint him a little bit there, Alex.
I mean, to be fair to Nathan, he's been doing a very good job at getting these exits out of these very difficult situations, and frankly he kicks it much better than I ever could hope to, so I won't be too hard on him for that today.
Of course, you're right, with the conditions as well. I'm being a little critical, my apologies. You are 100% right, and you're seeing even the crowd there on the live stream just saying fantastic tackle there by Andy Joseph. So scrum time, it's got to be quick ball, it's got to be channel one. They can no longer just afford to set it at 8. A big pressure comes, it could be turnover, and it comes out again. It's actually an advantage for TNT, and here's a big chance now. Here's James Phillip, he's got a chance at back inside, but it's not on, so we're going to go back for the penalty. James Phillip just couldn't open up enough, but it is a penalty, and it looks like a Mexican player is actually down as well. He's feeling his calf. That's number 7, that's Victor, so he's going down.
The touch judge is also pretty lucky just then, because he also almost took a tumble from the Mexican player trying to make that cover tackle.
Actually, you see him. James Phillip scored so many tries, and there you go. Keyshawn Mendez almost finds ground. So coming on from Mexico now, wearing number 17, that's Dana. He's from USA, that's the Dallas Harlequins. Big moment for the young man, wearing number 17, waiting to have a big impact. Of course, they're smelling blood, and to bring on a specialist front row forward now. What an opportunity. What is TNT going to do here? And actually it looks like they're making a substitute for Nathan Atchim. Number 23, Ronaldo Bermudez, takes the field, and Caribs RSC explodes. Great first cap there by Nathan Atchim. He gets a little touch there by the coaching staff. But Bermudez, his wife, is downstairs and she is losing her mind, having a great time. Congratulations to them. It looks like number 7, Victor for Mexico, is going to try to pull through. We'll see. So time is running out, and it's starting to get darker and darker by the second here. About 20 minutes left in this game. Can Victor pull on? This would be a big loss for Mexico, but his calf is flaring up. He might have to come off. It does look like he will be coming off. Big loss, but they've got a bench, so number 19 looks to take his place. That's Omar. Omar getting involved, so 17 and 19. Both coming on. Let's hear it for them. So again, Dana wearing number 17 from USA. Dallas Harlequins. Big moment for him. And wearing number 19, that's Omar. So TNT, the scrum now has become a liability. The coaches rolling the dice. And Christopher Pudi Hudson takes over the kicking duties. And here we go. Push up the field, he's biting off a lot. Is it going to stay in field? And it just stays in. Brilliantly done by Mexico, and they slam it back, but it's a net gain for TNT. And they're saying it straight out. They're saying it was touched and carried back in. We'll see the call. So they're speaking now. Clifton and Keyshawn, his assistant, said it was taken back in and kicked out. So it's a big let off for TNT, and it's going to be another line out. Of course, the only line out option so far has been the Sugar Bear, number 6.
That was really masterfully done by Christopher Hudson for that precision for that kick. Yeah. It's really given their team quite a bit of space and breathing room given this stage of the game.
So Wazim Oliver pulls in. I actually think they brought in Shaquille Dyke to jump at 2. He's the full-back, but that's his traditional rule. They needed to get some security from these set pieces, and that's well done. But Mexico flood. They might be able to turn it over here, and they do push him out of bounds. That's well done by Mexico.
That's excellently done by Mexico. I think it didn't help that when Dyke was bringing down the ball, there was a bit of fumbling there, so it prevented that quick reaction you'd usually have in place for a maul of that kind. Mexico was able to capitalize on that quick, that brief pause, and able to push them out.
So Shaquille Dyke down on the ground. They absolutely attacked him there. The moment his feet touched the ground, Mexico just went full on him, flooded it. I do like how pragmatic TNT are being. They are starting to struggle in the line out, and they said, look, Dyke, we need you back in these line outs. We will make the adjustments. And he rejoins there. So we're trying to see, it looks like Ronaldo Bermudez shifts, maybe, I'm going to get it here, because of course Nathan Achim came off. We'll see how they set up from this line out. So it's going to be Mexico's ball. James Phillips retains his place, number 11 on one wing. Jonathan Taylor wide out, light years away on the far side there. He of course is just such a stellar player. So Bermudez has moved to fly half. Chris Pooty Hudson maintains the inside center, and wearing number 22, that's Maddie Huggins. Cassell Lee joins them out there with Anderson the Island Joseph, and Dite actually making his way off. That might be a blood substitution. I'm going to try to figure out who has come on for him. So goes over the head of the Sugar Bear, and they're going to use a phase there. Big carry and met by Lee, and it might be turned over. What a tackle by the beast from Brighton. What a big hit. And he's rewarded with the crowd recognize how big a moment that was. Only about 15 minutes left in the game, and they need moments like that, Alex.
Agreed. Both for positioning and also for morale.
So number 20 makes his way on. That's Joshua Hector. He's going to get his first cap from the Harvard's club. Now he struggles a little bit at the breakdown. He sometimes gets his hands involved. He's got to be disciplined here. Are they going to move him actually as a flank? It might be Anderson Joseph. I think he is staying on, but he's moved to the wing for this situation. And it looks like Wazim Oliver is going to move to 8. They might just know. It looks like Hector, my apologies, moves to 8. So very, very interesting. Maybe just going for a little stability. And number 17, that's Wazim Oliver, moves to the side of the scrum. So they are playing with the formation, trying to add a little support. And actually, yes, it looks like Cassell Lee has moved from 8 to the front row. So they're pulling out all his stops. He does a little front row up in the UK. Can he hold their pressure? Comes again from Mexico. You're seeing him getting under Daniel, but it is collected by Hector. He forces the pass, and James Phillips has to drop on it. He does. Pressure coming, and that is secured well by TNT given the situation. And they're trying to create some options here. Picked again, just looking to go. That's Christopher Daniel, and again another monster tackle. And another could be play on advantage for Mexico, who settle it right back down. James Phillips tried to adjust, and that's a penalty. Ill time there by the island. Anderson Joseph, he went for it all, but he was offside, and Mexico happy to waste more time off the clock. So they've given the kicking duties in this situation to El Piedra. That means the stone. He is the cornerstone of this Mexican side, their captain.
Anderson is very lucky that the referee did not call that high tackle.
That is very accurate. But Clifton has been desperate to keep everybody on the field, and we thank him for that. So line out time once again to throw in here, of course, from the Dallas Harlequins. That's Dana. The condition settling a little bit. The breeze has died down ever so gently. And he goes all the way to 4, brought down there. Well done, and here comes that rolling maul, a flash of thunder, and they're really taking it in inside the 22. Look to be collapsed there by 17, Wazim Oliver. Lucky not to give away a penalty, and this is it. What a roll here. Surely that is an advantage, and the referee agrees with me, pulling down. Very cynical play by TNT. Out to Mateo. Mateo throws one dummy, throws one hand. Claire comes now. It's Claire, hands to the right, screaming from Jonathan Taylor. He needs assistance. Slow it down just there. What a tackle. Comes in again from TNT, but it's still advantage. They look to play. They carry it up now. That's 20. That's Bernie. Bernie looks to settle another carry. They're keeping it close to the rock. should still be advantage. And TNT being warned. He took a while to adjust there. And they're right there. They're on the 5 meter line. If TNT can't keep them out, Mexico might just put a nail in this coffin. Out to Mateo. Mateo shoves it wide. Another great carry by the double try scorer. It looks like Luca. So here goes Mateo. Chip through. And Huggins gets his hand on the ball. Well done there, my Matty Huggins. But we're going to go back for the penalty. Are they going to take the points, Alex? Hard to say.
It's hard to say. The wind has died down, the rain has died down, but the conditions are very wet, and everybody is very tired.
They are looking exhausted. Of course, if they score that, it takes it beyond a converted try. We'll see. Actually, it looks like the captain has opted to go for the line out after that wonderful rolling. Molloy taps. It's a fake. Looks to feed to number 20. That's Bernie again. 2 meters away. Mexico won it all and they want it now. Sam slams it up and propel back once more. It's now or never for TNT. A big carry. They've got to hold him out. Literally a meter away. The roll started to come. Liam Cabral is working to stay out. A big carry by number 20. That's got to be Pato. No, that's Bernie. My apologies. So Vesti looks to get over. Look out for this pick there. They do pick. They go right towards the post. Creating options both sides. One more pick shortly to the right. And TNT. No, they go left this time. And they settle it once. TNT applying lots of pressure, encouraging that passes in these conditions. Another pick, but Lee, part of the many bodies to hold him up. Is he going to hold him up over the line? Let's see the call. And it is held up by TNT. Well done by the sweet TNT.
That was a heroic effort from TNT and a heroic effort from Mexico as well. Both teams are exhausted bodies on this field and pushing that ball up, powering that ball up minute after minute, play after play. I think it was about 9 phases of play that went through just then. So I know it's tired bodies on that field. And there was excellent show of defense from Trinidad and Tobago to hold up that try from Mexico, who were hunting for that try line.
And looking at it again once more, it is Caselli from the Brighton Rugby Club who's getting involved. He's been everywhere. So Bermudez to kick off. And he just looks for safety. And in these conditions, it might work out. Chepe feeds it. Hands now. This is a big chance. Cuts back inside. He might be able to finish and put it away. You know he does. It's a try time. Yes, it is. We'll get a number on that. It might be once more. Is it Luca? We'll see from the highlight now, Alex. Let's see if they can play it for us once more. And that might be game, set, match. So you see again, out there, that's Davide out to Luca, who straightens back inside on his weaker shoulder. And he's done it. That is his hat trick for his country. Once more, Luca.
That was really well done to take advantage of the positioning of the Trinidad team at that point in time and of the quick offloads from that Mexican back three. Yeah, it really helped to open up space, how they came on at pace and managed to avoid those first few tackles. It put them in a great position for a really wonderful try.
So we're waiting to see if this is a successful conversion. TNT still about 10 minutes left, so it is not impossible, but they're going to need some help. They're going to need an error on Mexico, and that is a genius kick. So that takes the score now to 22-10. I don't know if that is 100% accurate. I believe it was 17-10, add 7, so it should be 24-10 with just under 10 minutes to go. And who from TNT could step up? Even taking a look at the bench, not a lot of options in this situation. Huggins on now, but can he get that platform to fire with TNT's front row struggles? So they might look to go a little bit deeper here. Chris Hudson, they need some help. They need to be the next to score. So yes, Dite is back on. He's finished his blood bin. And what a man to have back on. He's done it so many times for his country. And number 20 to come on. Hector, sorry, he's being replaced as the blood substitute. So here we go. Chris Hudson kicks it deep. Looking, is it going to be straight out? And it is. What an error there by TNT. To milk more time off the clock. Mexico is going to be in no rush to get this scrum going. And of course, TNT with their struggles Mexico is going to try to turn it and allow that penalty to come before passing it out. Monster mistake from that kickoff. You saw what he wanted to do. You saw that he wanted to pin him deep and force them to make a decision. But he tried to go for the impossible, and it worked out that way. So some subs coming in. It looks like Sugar Bear is coming off for number 16. That is Joshua Marsan getting another first cap. That's the Harvard's player, and it might be Reese Valère wearing 21 as well, joining the back line. Not sure who he's going to come on for. Might be Chris Hudson. So scrum time. Can this new setup here from Trinidad hold? Instantly Wazim goes down. Oh, interesting. Well done. And I'll tell you something, Axel is furious with that call. He thought he got the engagement right with Marcus Daniel. I'd love to see that again. Marcus Daniel gets congratulated. See if we could get a replay of that. Here it comes. Let's see. So Axel got the hit there. No, I think Marcus Daniel went straight down, but that's just my opinion. So it is a line out here for TNT. Marcus Daniel struggling there a little bit again. Not a traditional tight head, asked to do that role with the changes. And is on a tight head worth his weight in gold at this level, Alex?
I mean, props in the back and the tight five are the foundation or the anchor of any rugby team, so they are invaluable in that sense. I mean, I will read it differently to you. I will agree with the referee on how that particular play went down.
Fair enough. And TNT, of course, get this line out. Just over, say, 5 minutes remaining. Cannot waste any more time. Mexico, are they going to throw up somebody again in that first channel, just a 2, force TNT to do something special? They don't have time to set up too many phases now. Unfortunately, conditions did not. So TNT picked a side to move the ball around. And unfortunately, in this horrific torrential downpour, it just didn't play out. It just didn't work out for them, and Mexico read it like a book. They defended, they adjusted, they started to mark everything tight to the ruck, Alex.
We have about 6 minutes left in this game, which is still a lot of time to make something happen, though. I mean, as time goes on, it becomes less and less. But the other factor that we're fighting against right now here locally is the light. Around the stadium, home lights are starting to come on, street lights are starting to come on as this very dark, cloudy day gets darker as the sun comes down.
That's right. So last roll of the dice for TNT. Some last changes coming on. Number 16. That is Joshua Marsan. Actually is not going to be used just yet. Nathan Achim is there on the sideline looking on, trying, screaming. Surprised that we're going to have this little break in play. It must be something with the communication with the refs, because as you said, the light is leaving us very quickly. And you're seeing as well, even the captain for Mexico is starting to ask to say, we got to get this going. So we'll see what the call is. It might actually be that they have called the game due to the light. We haven't gotten an official response. They're asking, I believe, the Mexican captain, and they do say that is it. So ladies and gentlemen, that is your final score here from TNT. 24-10 in favor of Mexico. TNT unable to get that last bit of, we had that delay and we're just not unable, it's just not safe enough. So TNT formed that line to celebrate. Mexico, congratulations. Alex, any thoughts?
This was a really hard fought game, particularly by both teams. And you saw what each was trying to work on. I think that for the first half, we really saw what Trinidad's gameplay was going to be, and the rain really came and interfered with that. And in the case of Mexico, they were able to capitalize and take advantage of that. And I think for such a young squad, with quite a few debutants or players with 2 or 5 caps or so, this really speaks to the testament of their growth as a national outfit, of what they're able to bring to a national, an international fixture like this.
Yeah. Well, it pains me. I'm going to give the MVP, if that's all right with you, Alex. So I would usually, I mean, I struggle. Sebastian Diaz was incredible in so many facets of the game, but how could I not give it to hat-trick hero inside center for Mexico? That's Luke. Would you agree with me, Alex?
I think it'd be hard-pressed not to in that sense. We've had some very good players today with standout performances across both teams. So it's been very, very good to see that growth going on, and good to highlight for both teams of what they can continue to build on.
So we are supposed to have some So yes, it is abandoned. I was just getting confirmation there. We are going to have one or two interviews still, we believe. So please stay tuned before we go downstairs. We will be back with you all shortly as we tune over to Sumi from Sumi Speaks. Thank you so much, and we'll be back.
my head.
I can see it. Hey guys, so we're back down on the field. We're here with the team captains. Right now we're here with Shaquille Diet at the abrupt end of this game with Trinidad versus Mexico. Diet, what went into preparing for this game?
The preparation started in January 2026 because we were supposed to play South American teams, Peru. Unfortunately, that didn't come off, and we were in preparation for Mexico next. So the training just continued from since January, and it's been exhausting. Day in, day out. We started training 3 days a week, cut down to 1 day, went back to 2 days. It was a lot. It was a lot.
So what do you think didn't go according to plan?
Our composure, because coming into this game, we decided, okay, we need to slow down sometimes because the style of rugby Trinidad play tend to be fast, and we believe with a little more composure, slowing down at certain points in the game, we'll be able to maintain that momentum going forward. We started very strong, but we lost that composure going into the second half.
And with this result here, right, what is next for Trinidad and Tobago Rugby?
Unfortunately, I'm not totally sure what's next for 15th, but 7th have CAC games coming up in July. I believe the 24th to the 27th, around there. So that will be next for rugby in terms of competition-wise. CAC games and then run again for 7th. We were supposed to have a game against Guyana, but unfortunately, I'm not sure if that will happen right now.
Okay, so we're unsure about what's going on with the 15th for Trinidad right now.
7th have things going.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, Diet.
Yes, no problem.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now we will have Mexico's captain. Can I have Mexico captain? Hey. All right. Okay. First and foremost, congratulations on the victory. And my name is Samaya Mole. What's your name?
I'm Sebastian. Thank you very much.
All right. Hi, Sebastian. What went into planning into coming into this match?
Well, I mean, we were very excited for this match. Like since last year that we played against TNT, it was a really fun match to play. And now coming to your house to play it's really exciting. The weather was extreme. It was crazy. It was really lots of fun to play with all the rain, the heat, the wind, and all. It really took us out of our comfort zone, but it was really fun.
Okay, so you wouldn't say that didn't go to plan because it was fun. You enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, like a rugby match is always fun. I mean, we had to adapt a lot to the circumstances and the external factors that were here. But yeah, I mean, we trained to be able to adapt and to be resilient to any situation. So yeah.
And what's next for Mexico Rugby?
Right now we're supposed to go play to South America, probably Colombia or Peru, and then to be honest, we'll see what the future comes to us. But we hope to get a lot of matches afterwards.
Okay, and coming out of this victory, you have any words of encouragement for your team?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they played